Welcome everybody to the eggwp Duel Series number 7 Cup here in Diabotical. I am Copley47 and I am joined here today by Cabal Crow like last week. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm hoping to see some great matches. And we have some interesting developments for the tournament today. We are not going to have Agent in this tournament. So
Yeah.
the top spot is going to be more contested now, I would say. There's going to be more people that could join for it. And we also have all matches playing for round 1. There are no people that are just getting a free match now. And we have a few new people. Robo is one of the new people to the tournament. Pong, another person, and Narcos as well, who will be playing Vaccine in the first round. I don't expect to see them again, but maybe in another tournament we'll be able to see more of them. So we're gonna start with Robo against Distant Light.
Yeah. We already have a game here quite quickly. We don't have much time to talk about all of the players just yet. But Robo, you know him from Quake Live. The Distant Light has already been in our tournaments, but yeah, we are playing on Emberfall. It's once again the map that pretty much everybody has hated in duels. But nevertheless, Robo and Distant Light wanted that map, or at least chose that map out of the best of 1 bands that they just gathered.
I know that Agent actually likes to play that map versus some opponents.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised actually that Agent did not join this week. Although I don't know, maybe he just thought, I'll give mercy to everybody this time. So he is not indeed in the tournament right now.
So
we have some. Yeah.
Let's start with Distant Light. Distant Light will get the Mega Spawn, and we'll also get one of the blues. Would go for the LG immediately. At the same time, Robo, the other side, now grabbing Rail, and not really many armors. They didn't know that one of the armors was available, so they missed it, and Distant Light was able to grab it, and now Robo is in a very bad spot stack-wise. So Distant Light is going to be in control for the beginning. Are they going to be able to convert for a kill?
Oh,
they should be able to. Yeah, Robo didn't manage to get enough damage, and now we're going to look back at Distant Light once again. So Mega spawning, Robo wouldn't be there to contest it because they died very recently. Oh, in a very bad spot. So very bad start for Robo.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hurt. He has no control over the Mega, and Distant Light, I believe, has control of 2 blues right now, so he's not gonna deal much with armor either.
Yeah, Distant Light is actually in a very good position to contest any of the blues. At least, maybe not take them, but at least deal some damage at them. But they'll need to now secure a position on the Mega. So, Robo was able to grab one of the blues, but caught in a very bad spot once again. So, yeah. It's very important.
That is also one of the reasons why Emberfall is maybe just very much hated, because that water area there, you just... And the pincers down there, you certainly want that, but you're definitely gonna get caught off guard so many times when you're just in that awkward area.
Yeah. The middle position, as you can see, like Distant Light is using it very smartly to just... You can hear a lot in this whole map, so... You do need to use that a lot against the player who is out of control, just skipping in the middle, and you can just keep on getting frags over and over, just like Distant Light is getting. And you also need to secure weapons in this map, and the weapons are all in very, like, maybe the LG is in the best position, though it's very easy to get to the LG from most position. The problem is that there is also only one rocket on that map, so making it hard to get it as well, and it is in the center where usually the in-control player would be. And we already mentioned the rail being in an awful spot in the water area, just a dead zone.
I like Distant Light's use of the Void Cannon here. It's just what it is, basically a miniature railgun, and he's certainly been practicing it. He just hit like 3 shots in a row there, dealing 100 damage basically. And that also has the same as the pincer, in that the damage increases by 2 every time you hit a consecutive shot. Right now, Distant Light 5-0 lead, and really just demolishing Robo's stack here. He is just probably at 20 HP or less, and waiting for this blue, and Robo tries to sneak for it, but yeah, Distant Light is very much expecting him at that very corner, and even picks up the Mega once again.
Robo did have some breeding spot right now, and because Distant Light missed that rail, and they will need to get a rail soon because they're somewhat low on ammo. Robo is able to secure some weapons because of that, and Distant Light misses the blue
Just struggling
several
to pick up
times.
this blue.
So let's actually switch up to Robo right now. See how they deal. So yeah, picking those small items. Now Distant Light going in for a chase, and this is actually a very good position for Robo to deal some great damage. Distant Light lost a lot of health in that fight, though. Robo wasn't able to actually deal enough damage to make the trade completely worth it in their favor. So now all three blues are available for both players, and Distant Light now with a smaller stack than before. So if Robo was able to fight for another blue, and they're actually still in a position where they could contest an outlook, and those were some very nice rockets from Robo. So actually, Robo now in a small, actually in an equal position stack-wise. So the next mega is gonna be available for both players to pick up. Robo now in a better position. Distant Light only looking to deal some rail shots, and Robo will finally pick up the mega, first mega for them. And if they're able to get some armors as well, now they will be in the dominant spot, and we will see if they are able to just get some frags back. This is very important on that map. Like the control is gonna be very strong for one player, so the in control play is gonna be the most important. How many frags you can pick up in the amount of time that you're gonna have the control, just keeping it. But Robo didn't actually manage to get very good use of the mega because Distant Light has some very good shots again with that void cannon, and finally securing another kill, and Robo GG out.
Yeah, we were sort of looking at the round one matches, like which one we should cast first, and we thought that all of this are going to be one-sided, but this one especially was one-sided because of Amberfall. And Distant Light just magnificently controlling that mega. And that is even a 0 game for him, so he won his opponent,
Mm-hmm.
who only had 0 frags.
So we will now wait for.
Oh, this Distant Light's actually just confused. Like something wrong with the settings. It just suddenly ended. No, I believe there was nothing wrong with the. If Distant Light was already in golden frag. Oh, I see. Robo GG'd out. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
That's why. Oh, so Distant Light wasn't even on golden frag.
So we are now just gonna be waiting for the next match.
Yeah.
Because other people have to finish their matches. I believe this is the first match that got finished.
Yeah, Capilla was very fast too.
Oh no, Light Boss and List also finished their match. So
yeah, and that is a 12 to -1 for List, it seems. And List's next opponent will be either Kenza or Sol, who are battling against each other in round one still. But Distant Light's next opponent, if he indeed won that, so Robo GG'd out, he will be facing either Pogmeister or Bigger, depending which one wins that match in round one. But I can definitely tell, I mean, there's already 2 games that have ended, and those both were pretty one-sided. List 12 to -1 against Light Boss. Distant Light 7 to 0 against Robo, even though he GG'd out pretty early. But I'm still going to say that wasn't going to have much of a, like too low of a frag difference. It wasn't going to be like too even, especially on Emberfall. We have yet to see like what the rest of the round one matches are going to be, but let's see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we still have 6 matches that are being played at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
They're all best of ones, so they're gonna end pretty fast.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we should have a break here at all because they are going to end very fast. So
I think that the round 2 matches are gonna be very interesting. Actually, many of the players, if people just keep on matching, keep winning matches based on their ranking in the game, I think that all of the round 2 matches are actually gonna be pretty equal especially compared to the first round.
Yeah. But yeah, we can. I don't know about the stream, but we can still see Distant Light just like hopping in and before right now. I don't know which game you want to cast next. Are we following Distant Light or just even go see like what list has to offer next?
It depends on who finishes first, but also they're gonna be. I think Damek against Baxin could be interesting. Kanz against List, I think will also be an interesting match. And at the same time, I would like to see how Dazdor will do, because Dazdor was the second place in the previous match, and now that Agent isn't here, I would say that they're the person that has the most chance to win the tournament, based on previous results at least.
And it's nice to see looking at the round one games. It's like Backstein is the highest name over there, and then Dazator is the lowest name. I believe they can just sort of form a triangle, maybe up to the grand final, so they can probably go against each other there. But we'll have to see. Only a round two games.
So yeah, we have another match that finished, Katos against Damek.
And Damek seemed to have won him 9-4. And the map was, I actually gotta check the map. It was Overgrowth.
Yeah, that is. I would say that is more of a Katos map from what I've seen. Damek is a pretty good player all around, and Katos is more of an aim-based player, going more for fights. So definitely a map that would benefit Katos.
I was sort of expecting Katos to climb a little bit so that they could have actually just do the live boss again in the first semifinal. Third rematch, basically, in the whole series.
Well, that would have been hard for Light Boss to beat both List and Kanza, and also I shouldn't call the shot so quickly. Maybe So could get an upset win.
Oh yeah, Robo's in the chat also saying Emberwall was a mistake. Yeah, I can definitely tell. It's just like the control is very much one-sided. Just once the other player gets Mega and just even one of the blues, I think that may be it. If you could, you don't even have many effective weapons against that stack. They can only have max 150 armor on that map as well, thanks to the 3 blues.
So maybe we should take a small break.
Yeah, I think we are going for a small break until we have a match in round 2 ready and we can actually commentate one of those. We'll yet have to see which one is ready first, and we will be taking a short break until then. So, see you in a moment.
Work, fall in love right now and spend all our money. Jump with me. Jump with me. I've been feeling it buzzing in my fingertips. Wanna try you out. Get lost, get far away, and do what we wanna do now.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back with the quarterfinals of the tournament between Distant Light and Vigor, and they've already done the first two bans. Vigor banned Overgrowth, and I believe that is actually Distant Light. He banned Casbah.
So both of those players has been in top 4 before, so it will be an interesting match to see. At the same time, we also have List and Kanza going for the best of 3. And so we finished actually the match between Kanza and So with 11-1. So now we're going to be watching Distant Light and Vigor, and we need to see the first map pick from them.
Yeah, even Vigor's just telling him that it's his map pick.
Yeah, we are waiting for Distant Light to have a pick. The first map is going to be... Yeah, the first map is going to be Monolith by Distant Light. This is what we're going to start with. Let's see what Vigor will pick.
Overgrowth and Casbah are actually pretty alright bans. We just yet have to see what Vigor's map pick is. Then we have to see, like, from the bans what the decider map is. But there is still Skybreak, Rhea, Bioplan, and Amberfall remaining.
So Vigor will pick Raya as their first pick, and now we're gonna get 2 more bans to see which is gonna be the final map. So Bioplant is also banned. So the remaining maps are Skybreak and Amberfall. So our Russian player here would be decided. Actually, oh yeah, Distant Light would be deciding the last map between Amberfall and Skybreak. At the same time, Dazator and Moktak also finished their match, the first match, the round 1 match in the tournament. And the score still isn't available, but yeah. And the last map is going to be Skybreak for our match now. So we're going to start on Monolith.
Yeah, Monolith, we already saw like some very intense action from the only the couple last series we had the last few weeks, but I believe it was in the grand final against Desertor, like between Agent and Desertor, and this is just the map. As far as I have seen, it's just the map for camping corners, especially that middle area there. You open the door and then you just sneak onto the other opponents, basically. But this does have a red, but it also has 2 blues.
So I think that we'll be watching Distant Light at first when this match starts out. Oh, we're having a reset, I see. Okay. Since this is Distant Light's pick.
Yeah.
At the same time, we have another match that finished. Baxin and Narcos finished their match, and Baxin will be playing against Damnek for the round 2 in the quarters. And also Chamo and GPPP finished their match as well.
Yeah, so still have to see like what the score between Moktak and Desertor is, and either one will go against Chamo.
Yeah. So we're actually gonna have all the round 2 maps now. So we're gonna start now, starting with Distant Light. So Distant Light would get the red spawn, would take the rocket launcher, and immediately will have access to the LJ and one of the blues. So yeah, both players now just trading both major items, both blues, and a rail for the LG. So now Distant Light already set up for the next red. looking to deal some damage. They're not interested in taking the rail. At the same time, Vigor is just trying to get a corner, get a rail shot in. So yeah, and now I believe Distant Light would be able to get the red completely damage free. Vigor misses their shot, so now Distant Light going there to cut off Vigor from going to the Mega, and should be able to grab the Mega as well now. Especially with the advantages they got from grabbing the red there, 50 stack advantage. So yeah. Butler's trying to trade some rail shots but miss, and Vigor would now try to deal some damage on the red, but would be a little bit too late. And instead Distant Light is able to secure the frag because of that. And now Distant Light would even be able to grab the last blue on the map, and no more items on the map. Vigor now in a very, very tight spot, so let's switch to Vigor. Vigor has only the railgun and should be just fragged immediately. Distant Light would grab the Mega and would try to rush for the red, would even rocket jump, would get there fast, deal some damage on Vigor. Vigor would steal the red armor and deal some damage back as well. Distant Light missing the rail shot, so Vigor actually managing to get that steal very healthy for them, even would grab a blue after that. So very equal both players stack-wise. Would even be able to grab the LG, but would take a rail shot because of that from Distant Light. Still Vigor taking a rail shot back, and another rail shot from Distant Light, and now both players extremely low, though Vigor would pick up the 50, a spam rocket, and both players extremely low would now just trade major items. Very close encounter.
I know Vigor, I know Distant Light was trying to secure the position for red there, but still 1 HP was very, very risky even when jumping to the red. And he had no idea if Vigor was suddenly just surprising, especially the map being monolith, surprising around corners especially.
And now both players are gonna be fighting for the red. Distant Light in a much better spot. They had the better stack at the beginning. Very unfortunate spawn for Vigor. So yeah, Distant Light had a better stack and also managed to get the surprise on Vigor and deal some great damage in the process. And now just Distant Light completely dominating that map. Vigor is still playing actually very good, and we're getting some equal fights, but at the same time Distant Light just manages to finish off the frags and get the upper hand. So despite the difference in the score lead, we are still actually having a more equal match than it may appear. So yeah, now Vigor is trying to secure the LG, but actually a very aggressive play by them. This should probably cost them a frag. I would say at least Distant Light would be able to slow them down enough, but because of that, Vigor would actually be able to grab the red, would even go for the LG now. So let's switch to Vigor, see how they're gonna be dealing with this. So Distant Light definitely in control right now, but Vigor with a good enough stack currently, and also even managing to pick up the rail at some point. I don't believe seeing that. Maybe a dropped weapon from one of the dead players. So Vigor will be trying to contest the red, at least dealing some damage. Would try to not allow Distant Light to get it for free. A very nice direct rocket, and would be able to finish off the frag there and grab the red. Very strong fight from Vigor. Distant Light would be able to snatch the Mega right in front of Distant Light. A very strong direct rocket from Distant Light, but Vigor very long health, and Distant Light is able to finish off the frag with the machine gun. Say another close encounter between both players, but Distant Light with just a very good combo finishing off the frag. And
yeah, that was 2 frags inside 10 seconds, and that's a 3rd frag inside perhaps 15 seconds. Magnificent. And I'll be damned. Vigor he is dealing quite a number of damage here, as we can even see, but he's just taking so much shaft damage and pincer rail finishes from this.
They managed to steal the Mega there, which was probably the right call, but they didn't get the good shots after that. What a nice direct rocket to prevent them from picking up the red. But now both players are gonna be very close to each other. We'll see how this encounter would go. Vigor would have the rocket, while Distant Light would have the LG. Now both players with the rocket, and they have a rail against LG weapon disbalance. So Mega is spawning, and Vigor is close to the Mega, but doesn't know the timing. And despite of that, would hit some very nice rocket shots and steal the red in process. And Distant Light probably thought that the Mega was already taken by Vigor, and because of that, they didn't steal it, and Vigor is now taking both of the major items, would be able to secure one of the blues as well. And Distant Light in a very tough situation right now. Let's switch to Distant Light. Distant Light still doesn't have the LG. Would try to deal some damage on the red and would succeed, but taking some damage themselves as well, almost losing their blue completely in the process. So, a very nice LG from Distant Light, dealing some damage, but now both players extremely low on health, fighting for the Mega. Distant Light would back off, Vigor would get the Mega, finish off the frag with a nice rail, and now would rush for the red. Both players are now on the red. Distant Light with the LG, but Vigor placing two very nice rail shots around the pillar, the red pillar, would be able to secure a blue, and now is in a position to deal some good damage on Distant Light because there are no more items on the map. Distant Light will only have one blue, would not have the blue anymore because of that nice rail shot, but a great spam rocket from Distant Light, just keeping Vigor away, not letting them chase them. So, Distant Light will position themselves for the red, and what a grenade! Distant Light would still be able to steal the red, but Vigor was only trying to secure some damage, and they're leaving the Mega up behind them because they know that Distant Light would be on that red. So very good strategic play from Vigor there, and practically just destroying a lot of the stack. Though at the same time, Distant Light took most of the damage to their health and was able to get another blue after that. So it wasn't that big of a loss for them, but at the same time,
oh my god,
Vigor taking just amazing shots in that fight and manages to finish it off.
Yeah, Distant even missed the jump to red there. Vigor had no idea of that either, but those magnificent rockets must have just pushed Distant Light away from the red platform, and he does get the Mega, but at what cost though? That is just magnificent damage by the shaft from Vigor there, and he's 97. Suddenly it's just like a 2 frag difference. Last time it was probably a 5 frag difference. Distant Light getting the red. Vigor actually self-terminates, so that will be a 3 frag difference now, but Distant Light does get quite a lot of damage and even completely revoked his red from that rocket damage.
Mm-hmm.
5
so now
seconds until
Distant
Mega.
Light
Oh, very good
in control,
pincers.
but a very nice pincer equalizing from Vigor. And Vigor still doesn't have the LG, so it will be harder for them to fight for some items. Would go to deal some damage on the red, but at the same time they're leaving the Mega open behind, and now Distant Light would be able to contest and even take the Mega and here we have they're taking the Mega. Vigor will deal some damage after that, and another rail shot, but they're very low health right now. Both players just railing each other out. Distant Light could actually switch to machine gun in there and just finish Vigor off, but not sure about how low on health Vigor is. And Distant Light would be able to grab a red and the blue now. So, and Vigor now in a very tough situation in the low ground. Distant Light missing most of the shots, finally hitting a rail. At the same time, Vigor was able to get some rockets hits as well, and Vigor would actually be closer for the Mega. Distant Light not there to contest the Mega, but Vigor also unsure about the timing because Distant Light would be able to grab the red and probably even the Mega right now. Vigor looking for some exit damage, hits a 25 damage rocket. Just a little bit of damage to help them out, and Distant Light manages to get to the back of Vigor, dealing some very nice LG damage. Vigor would be able to dodge both of the rail shots from Distant Light. A very nice movement from Vigor there, and Vigor manages to get a light fairly healthy. So Distant Light would be able to grab the red, and Vigor is now just looking to deal some exit damage. Gets the rail because they were very long rail, but it's caught out in a very bad position by Distant Light, and that was a frag from Distant Light. And now Distant Light almost in 200, just looking to take Vigor out, and Vigor is going for the red, but a very unfortunate for them. At the same time, they did deal some very good damage. Distant Light wasn't able to get to the teleporter fast enough. And now we're in a golden frag, and that should be a frag for Distant Light. And can they finish them off? Actually, they're just gonna let Vigor get away, not going to opt in for the rocket launcher, the rocket jump to finish off the frag, and Vigor would be able to heal off some of the health. So let's switch back to Vigor. Vigor would even be able to steal the Mega away. Distant Light would secure a red, but completely missed the timing on the Mega there. And Vigor is now still in the game. If they're able to secure some weapons, and very unfortunate for them, misses the jump, so they're gonna slow down on this position. The bolt blues are still up, and Distant Light cannot take any of them because they're at almost maximum armor. We're looking for a shot now, having all three weapons, but a very aggressive push from Vigor. Distant Light catching them off guard, and GG. First map goes to Distant Light. And that was for Distant Light's pick, and Vigor was still fighting very hard on that mark. It wasn't an easy victory for Distant Light, so let's see how Distant Light will fare against Vigor's map pick on Raya next.
Yeah, very good defense from Vigor there. All the match, during the whole match pretty much, but like that last moment, he almost picked up the Mega. I'm not sure if he would have survived with that. quite long, but still would have actually just gotten away from Distant Light.
See, we're gonna be watching Vigor at the start of that match.
Yep.
As it is tradition to watch the persons whoever picks the map. So, Raya, an extremely defensive map and very reliant on hard reads to finish a frag. So Vigor would take the red spawn, while Distant Light would take the rail spawn. Vigor would take a little bit more time there so that Vigor doesn't have an opportunity to take a rail shot at them. So now both players just trading out items, still have a rail to LG disadvantage. Vigor would opt in to defend the LG and to secure a position on the red. But at the same time, that would allow Distant Light to get some nice rail shots. And here, 2 rail shots from Distant Light. A third one!
No.
There could be a 4th one, maybe? That could even be a frag. At the same time, Distant Light also not in a very good position right now. Doesn't have a lot of armor. Lost their health advantage, but should be able to pick up the next Mega uncontested. And now both players would again be equal stack-wise, and again have an imbalance in the weapons. So Vigor is actually looking to secure the rail, but at the same time they left the red wide open for Vigor to pick up. So Vigor now for Distance to pick up, and Distant now in a much better position, would even pick up the LG, and now items are synced up. Distant manages to find Vigor and tries to deal some damage, but Vigor is in a healthy stack. They could back away whatever they want, and now both players are going to be fighting for the Mega. Vigor would be in a better position to fight for the Mega, would now be able to secure maybe some damage on the red. Distant Light would be able to secure the red, but a very good rockets from Vigor and pick up the first frag.
Yeah, he was completely cornered there. Not the Mega spot. Distant Light did have a final pincer angle for Vigor, but he was still on cooldown with the last shot. So yeah, Vigor definitely getting that with a very, very fair fight as well, with a higher stack.
And we saw the benefit of positioning. Distant Light even had another almost 100 stack over Vigor in the last fight, because they managed to steal a red. But the positioning of Vigor just allowed them to secure the Mega and prevent Distant Light from going for it. And now some great shots for Vigor. Distant Light missing the jump to Mega and eventually falling down, and Vigor is able to secure another frag. Now Vigor will be able to defend the red, would get on the red, and would be able to secure the frag on Distant Light here, but missing a lot of their shots, and Distant Light was able to get some great damage in the process. So Vigor low on stack now, and a nice rail shot from Distant Light. Distant Light doesn't have the LG yet, but they have the stack advantage currently, especially after picking up that blue. So both players are probably gonna be trading the major items as they do now. So now both players in somewhat equal stack, though that rail is gonna bring the favors to Vigor's favor. Excuse me about that.
And Vigor is actually positioned for this blue as well, and Distant Light's just relying on the other blue on the other side of the map, but pretty much has higher health. Oh, that's a third pincer hit by Vigor. Fourth one.
Preventing also Distant Light from picking that, flying to that red, and finally managing to get the frag.
Goodness.
Should be able to secure a Mega as well, or at least prevent Distant Light from getting the Mega for free. And here it happens. A great rail and then finishing off the frag with the rocket launcher. Distant Light just giving up and going with a melee. Now Distant Light trying to deal some damage on the next red. But they don't have the rockets, so they only relied on the LG, and eventually the fight got too close, and Vigor was able to just finish off the fight quickly with the rocket launcher. A very good shot from Distant Light. Distant Light is actually in a very good spot here, but what a rocket from Vigor there would be able to just decimate all the advantage that Distant Light got with that rail shot. Now Distant Light is staying next to the Mega, just waiting for Vigor, but Vigor will just back away, give the Mega to Distant Light, and instead opting to get the red, heal up the damage with the 50 health bubble, and even get another blue. So now both players are actually equal stack-wise, and I believe I'll switch now to Distant Light. They still don't have the LG. They'll go for the LG now, finally pick it up. At the same time, Vigor is just listening on the top now, and would push Distant Light towards the red. However, the red didn't spawn. Was spawning just 2 seconds too late, and because of that, Distant Light wasn't able to pick up the red to change the favor. But what a pre-fire rocket there with a rail combo, just finishing Vigor in one fast combo. And we have another fight here. Vigor was able to pick up that 50 health in that fight, and eventually was able to secure the kill on Distant Light, and would pick up the red.
Yeah,
so
those last couple fights were just devastating for basically for both players. But Distant Light finally is back to positive frags. He just self-terminated and was at -1 for a while, and now he's actually back in positive. But those last couple fights were, and this one as well was very much Distant Light's favor right now.
Distant Light was originally a very what
right
a shot!
red.
Yeah, and Distant Light was originally not in the best position in that fight over there, but they managed to land a very strong direct rocket, which allowed them to secure the kill and then secure both of the major items. So now Distant Light in the driving seat.
Yeah, he has to.
He's now
secure
sneaking around the
4
map.
frags.
Sneaking around the map, trying to find Vigor. Finally finds Vigor on the red. Vigor would be able to steal the red and deal some great damage onto Distant Light. Now Distant Light would be able to secure the Mega, would use that smoke very nicely to prevent any rails from hitting them. At least without a guess from Vigor. So now Distant Light would already be positioned on the next raid. Vigor is also there trying to contest it, deal some great damage. A nice rail shot, and would be able to completely decimate the armor that Distant Light got before the red. And now Distant Light and Vigor equal stack-wise, though with that blue, Distant Light will have a small advantage. Vigor would also get a blow of their own, and now both players there on the Mega. Vigor wasn't in a good position on the Mega, so wasn't able to get some great damage, and eventually Distant Light was just barely getting to get the kill, hitting a very nice shot on Vigor there. Vigor was able to secure the red before the shot, which allowed them to survive. Would lose the red in the process, but still getting that frag and having a very good advantage currently. And we again have a weapon disbalance. Distant Light would have the LG and would be able to finish off the frag with the LG. Wasn't even in a position where they could have died from a rail shot, so Vigor just not in a position there to do anything. Vigor was able to snatch the Mega, however, after that fight. Now trying to secure some damage with that plasma from the long range, just a little bit. And the next item is gonna be the red. Both players are very equal in terms of stack. That rocket is gonna just rocket jump Vigor away. Players looking for some shots right now. Distant Light hitting the shot and could be able to secure the frag now. Vigor secures it on themselves. And now Distant Light would be there to secure the Mega, and it's almost a 200-200. Now there is only one blue. Vigor got one of the blues. Both players are gonna be fighting for the next red. Is Vigor gonna be able to get the red? And here they get it, but taking a great exit damage for Distant Light with that rail shot. And Vigor doesn't have a rail shot to trade rail shots back. Vigor now caught in a very bad situation, would be able to deal some nice damage. However, now Distant Light is looking for going to the other side of the map, trying to secure some damage instead of securing a position on the Mega. And because of that, Vigor was actually the one able to get some very nice shots and get the frag. At the same time, though, Distant Light would spawn closer to the Mega, so it wasn't all bad from them strategically. However, they have to drop down, trying to get in a fight. They don't have anything but the rockets currently. So Vigor was actually able to go for some LG damage, but Distant Light was able to use that pillar there to prevent that from happening. And now Distant Light using that rail that they have and Vigor doesn't have to just deal some good damage. But Distant Light's still in a very bad spot. Vigor would be able to contest the Mega now or even pick it up. Distant Light would opt in to take one of the blues instead, and Vigor would be able to take the other one and should be able to rush for the red and contest the red. Would not be in a very good position to take the red, but could even finish off the frag here if they chase down well. But Distant Light was able to just use those defensive rockets to just barely survive that encounter and even take a frag in the end. However, they don't have the stack advantage anymore.
Yeah, I believe Vigor there zooming in on Distant Light with a rocket launcher, but presumably wanted to select the pincer and just finish him off, because Distant Light was so low on health and armor, even after that red pickup, that just Vigor would have had that frag if he actually had his weapon switch very, very much intact.
After this whole encounter, both players are now equal in stack, essentially returning to the start of the game, though Distant Light still has the advantage in terms of the weapons. So yeah, Vigor finally picked up the rail, but wasn't able to go past those defensive rockets, and because of that, Distant Light was able, despite taking some good damage, was able to secure the red. And Vigor would steal the Mega, but that could be the end to Vigor right there. And here comes the great rocket shot. Vigor was still able to get some very good damage there because of the slow Weeble. Excuse me about that.
And it's very much tied. It was just, for a moment, it was Vigor's control for quite a lot of minutes, but right now it is 8-8 between both players. And Vigor here with the red gets slightly bombarded by Distant Light's rockets, but they all miss.
Yeah, Distant Light knew that Vigor would be looking for the rail, so already positioned themselves there. And now Vigor is going to contest the red.
Whoa, what a great rocket!
But some great shots from Distant Light as well, just equalizing the damage in this fight. And now most items are very, very synced up. There's gonna be just one blue early on, but yeah, now both players are just trying to feel each other out, try to find where the other person would gonna be. And Distant Light is currently in the trying spot, but they hit the rail shot, before the blue, so they weren't able to deny the blue, and in the end Vigor was able to just take the blue and the Mega. So Distant Light essentially just lost the rail shot, and Distant Light was being way too aggressive in this situation, not estimating the advantage that Vigor had well enough, and Vigor would position themselves for the red. Distant Light would instead go for a blue and even position themselves for the other blue, I believe, but Vigor is also gonna be there to contest it. Here they'll even be able to pick it up and would secure a position for the Mega. At the same time, Distant Light is just picking up the LG right now, would be trying to pick up the other blue currently and try to deal some damage. And here Vigor was able to deny the blue and push them towards the red, but the red wasn't spawning fast enough for Distant Light to steal it. And now Distant Light is going to the end ground and finally would be able to get that blue, or actually deciding not to, afraid that Vigor could be waiting for them, but Vigor wasn't waiting for them in that position, and eventually they got to a position where they could deal some damage, and that could be actually a frag for Vigor, but missing all of their shots, and Distant Light was able to get the LG damage, but now Vigor in a very, very bad position, managing to grab the Mega, but doesn't have any armor, and now trying to secure that blue, but in the process Distant Light would be able to secure the frag. Distant Light still very long health right now, so even if it is tied in frags, currently Vigor has the stack advantage, and if they are able to secure the weapons as well, and Distant Light, if Distant Light isn't able to do anything with the weapons, Vigor is just gonna be much better, and Vigor was able to now secure even the red.
Yeah, can I say that was very close already by Vigor there just before he died, hitting that pincer, but he barely missed that. Would have been the end of the game by Vigor there, but very lucky for Distant Light, he got the final rocket and the pincer hit there for himself, and it's now tied in golden frag.
Very unfortunate for Vigor here. They weren't in a position to contest the Mega, and because of that, Distant Light was able to secure it. And now both players actually very equal. And now we're having an engagement here. Much better shots from Distant Light here with the rockets. However, there is no item to fight for in there. Distant Light would rush for the blue, and same thing for Vigor. And now both players positioned on the Mega, and Distant Light would give up the Mega to go for the red instead, and both players would trade major items. Vigor slightly better currently.
Vigor is definitely on a better stack right now. Yeah, he's basically picked up one red and one blue, and same goes with Distant Light, just a fresh red right there. And a pincer hit puts him pretty equal on stack against Vigor.
Yeah. Vigor would be able to get a blue now to again equalize, not equalize the stack, but return to the previous stack advantage that they had before. And even a very nice shot would use that smoke to just jump to the red and steal it. And now Distant Light in a very bad spot. Vigor almost 200 stack above them. However, Vigor is now in a bad position to take that Mega, and Distant Light would just wait there with the LG and try to prevent Vigor to get to that Mega. A very nice shot from Vigor, but Vigor apparently got to the portal and would be able to secure the Mega finally, and even get some very good damage onto Distant Light. And Distant Light wasn't fast enough to the red, despite delaying the items. So
yeah, he just wanted that in his favor, but he stuck on Mega for a little bit too long, to say the least. And Vigor now has both pickups. It's just a very good opportunity for him to make a push here. If he finds Distant Light, and he does, the slow field Weeball. He's chasing it. 23 HP remaining on Distant Light, and that's definitely going to be a bigger finish right there. Finally.
Very cool play by both players now. Just trading two maps. Their best maps, they suppose, were the ones that they picked, except if they were banned in the first bans. So now we have finally gonna get to tiebreaker.
Yeah, very good map by Vigor. You can definitely see it was barely his pick, and he barely won his pick as well. But Skybreak will be our decider in this best of three. And I guess we're starting from Distant Light. It was his, sort of his pick. We sort of remained with Skybreak this time. And I believe this is going to be a very interesting match. It has all the types of armor, and judging from both players' accuracy with the shaft and pincer, this is probably going to be a very good pincer and shaft heavy match as well. As long as both players are ready, we are ready to start the match as well. So far, it was a very, very close game.
Both games were very close.
Yeah, both games were actually very, very close. But like we got
definitely
both players on golden frag. That was just almost a loss on Vigor's side. Distant Light managed to tie it up, but not take the last frag to win even Vigor's map, and now that is the reason why we are barely on tiebreaker.
Yeah, Rye is a much harder map to secure frags on, and this is why you're not really seeing those huge discrepancies in score there compared to Monolith. So if Vigor would take the rocket launcher spawn, would not go to deal some damage on the Mega, instead would immediately go for the red. And at the same time, Vigor would, Distant Light would actually go to deal some damage with the machine gun. Such great rockets from Distant Light. Both players actually very low, but Distant Light didn't pick up their yellow and was able to pick up the yellow after the fight and destroy Vigor's armor. So now Distant Light would be in a very good position to fight for the red. So let's switch to Distant Light. Distant Light would push Vigor away and would be able to secure the red now, and should be able to rush now for the Mega. Nice rail from Vigor, but Distant Light eventually getting the Mega. Vigor is able to just push Distant Light a little bit there with those pre-fire rockets, so Distant Light wasn't able to secure the frag at this point, but Vigor now is stuck in this situation, and Distant Light knows it and now is going for the chase, but Vigor would survive just a little bit. Distant Light would deny one of the blues, would grab the red. A nice rail from them, and now Vigor just barely alive, but what a shot from Vigor, just trying to do something, and finally Distant Light finishes it off.
It was barely able to pick up that yellow armor there, but Distant Light is already on a very good stack of armor. He is just waiting for this blue, and finally even picking up the red here. Vigor is nowhere to be seen. He is most likely just contesting the Mega side over there.
Actually, picking that yellow could have been a bad call for Vigor because they just got fragged and now they didn't have the nade just finishing off the frag here. Yeah, and now they didn't have the yellow and they had to wait for the yellow instead of leaving it there behind. So a little bit of a misplay, I would say, from Vigor in this situation. And Distant Light also a very good control from them, just controlling all the items. And now they're actually gonna leave the red for Vigor. Slight mispositioning from Distant Light, and Vigor was even able to secure a rail shot in the process. So now, despite the 2 frag advantage from Distant Light, Vigor has some stack to work with. So Distant Light is now gonna be denying that blue, at least defending it. And Vigor now there. Oh, the slow weevil would prevent Vigor from running away, and because of that, Distant Light was able to secure the frag and the red. Now Vigor would steal that mega, but it's probably gonna cost him a frag. Some nice damage from them in the process. The yellow is up, but neither Vigor won't be able to get to it to secure some armor for themselves. So Distant Light eventually got to the red. Some great shots from Vigor and finishing off the frag with a rocket. And now Vigor didn't pick up the red immediately, maybe just delaying it a little bit to screw with Distant Light's timing. Distant Light, however, was able to pick up the yellow and now should be able to pick up the mega. And both players would be in somewhat equal stack right now. So
Distant Light is just very confident. Try to escape Vigor's attacks right now. He just first trying to get this blue, I believe, and then just go. Oh no, he's trying to go for the red, but Vigor's already there. So now
yeah, Vigor had a strong rail before the fight, allowing them to just get it almost uncontested. And Distant Light was late as well on the positioning, so wasn't in a great position to contest. Now Vigor would even be able to steal the yellow, and would not be in the best position for the mega. Actually doesn't have the mega timing, or excuse me about that, they actually just went for some extra damage on Distant Light there, but at the same time that eventually costed extra damage on them because Distant Light was able to just secure a position to deal damage back, and 2 nice rail shots destroying the mega from Vigor.
Yeah, that was a little bit too ambitious by Vigor there. He probably should have been on the mega when it just spawned there instead of just being a little bit more ambitious with damage, because eventually Distant Light did get the position indeed, and the benefits out of the mega were just quickly revoked by the pincers of him. And Red has indeed is spawned. Oh boy, yeah, he's going for a very good push here. Mega is also up. Vigor's just very much afraid of just even rocket jumping up there. Takes a pincer and falls back to the yellow instead, and that will be Distant Light's mega.
Vigor had a very interesting play there, slowing down Distant Light on picking up the red, so that then they have a way to contest the mega. They weren't able to get the mega or even get some good damage on the mega in the end, but it was still a good strategic decision from them.
And Vigor, oh sorry, Distant Light can hear Vigor just like being in the yellow. Vigor's not too secretive about his position either, because he's just spamming blaster in corners, and my goodness, those pincer hits. Distant Light is falling back for the mega.
They would get the mega, and they would even be able to secure the red right now, getting even some great damage from Vigor. Vigor wasn't able to secure good damage with those rockets, despite having the position at first. And Distant Light would just push through, having a huge stack advantage. They know that Vigor was on that yellow right now. Good rail shot there. And Vigor would be able to get away, but still not without taking damage. And now Distant Light would go back to the red, would deny the blue. Some good float from Vigor, but those rail shots from Distant Light, and Distant Light is now chasing for the kill. But Vigor, some great shots from them with those defensive rockets on the portal. So Distant Light has to back away and just pick up the mega instead. Vigor at the same time would be able to pick up the red, and Vigor using the jump up to surprise Distant Light. Distant Light thinking that they would go for the portal, so using nades there, but instead Vigor going into their back and just getting some nice LG damage. And now let's switch to Vigor right now, who is in control, should be able to get the red uncontested and would be able to get a position for the Mega instead. Distant Light now picking up the yellow, but is now stuck at that yellow side. Both players would be fighting for the Mega.
Wow.
Distant Light would get some great damage on the Mega, but at the same time that pincer from Vigor would just decimate Distant Light, but those rockets from the smoke, and now both players super low on health. And Distant Light manages to get on top in the end after Vigor took that portal.
Those rockets through the smoke on Vigor, that was just the most unfortunate thing for him. And yeah, even on spawn right now, he's just taking quite a lot of shaft damage. Mega is about to spawn. Yellow is already up. Distant Light slightly taking some small damage on his own from those rockets. Picks up the Mega for himself. Vigor actually, with such a low health, picks up the yellow, but indeed that will not be very helpful.
Yeah, with that Mega pickup and the better position that they got with the LG, after the portal they were able to secure both major items, but at the same time now major items are synced up, so Vigor has, if Vigor is able to survive, pick up some of the weapons, they may be able to snatch one of the major items. Vigor now taking some damage and trying to contest the Mega, but they just cannot escape from this situation, so that's gonna be another frag from Distant Light. Vigor is gonna be late on the red and didn't even pick up the red. A small mistake in the movement of Vigor. Probably thought that they picked up the red, but they didn't, and they pushed a little bit too early.
And that may also cause some frustration. He probably was also thinking after that frag that, yeah, what the hell, I didn't even pick up red, but yeah, indeed he didn't.
So now Distant Light with a very strong lead, both in stack and also in frag, so they could even be just pushing very hard, trading some frags to just decimate the Vigor stack even more whenever anything happens. So now Vigor is gonna have a very hard time to win this one. Now they're going actually for an aggression themselves, but Distant Light with those defensive shots destroying Vigor, and now they can just rush down Vigor at any opportunity that they get. Would be able to grab the red now, and now no more items on the map. They're just looking for Vigor, trying to secure the final frag. But Vigor, very smart, manages to get to the other side of the map without being spotted. Distant Light would be able to get the Mega because of that they could just get any item that they want, and now Vigor super low, the slow wheel, and that should be the end of the game. Good game.
Yep.
So compared to the first maps, the last map was very one-sided for Distant Light, but still very well played from both players. Distant Light would take the quarterfinals 2-1. So let's see how other people were doing while this map was going to go. So Kanza won against List, and Kanza will be playing against Baxtin for the same finals. Have it started already? Oh, also Dazzler will be playing Distant Light. Who should we watch actually?
I mean, I believe Kanza already started. They have started in let's see, just a minute ago.
Yeah. Well, then let's watch Dazzler and Distant Light.
Yeah. We'll be following Distant Light indeed, and looking at the bracket itself, I want to see the results of the rest of the quarterfinals actually.
Yeah.
So Distant Light, we just witnessed he won bigger, but it was a very close best of 3 series in general. Yeah. I mean, the last map, the decided one, was won by Distant Light with a very good one side, but the rest of the maps were very, very close. And then there's Desertor, who won 2-0 presumably against Chamo, and then Kanza won 2-0 against List. Now he's currently going against Backstein. Then there is let's see, Backstein actually before he is going against Kanza, he's 2-0 and Damag. And now they're battling each other. But right up next, I believe we are not going to go on a break if we already have a match. So it will be Distant Light, but going against Desertor. We have still yet to determine the maps here.
So, what we see from the other quarterfinals, they all ended 2-0. So we actually had a very nice match picked up for the stream. We had 2-1. More equal, I suppose, though we don't know exactly how all the other matches played out. So Let's see how Dazzler and Distant Light would play it out. They're still not banning,
Oh,
but
I
they
should
probably
definitely know that they are up against each other right now. But yeah, this will be very much interesting. We have seen Disneylight, like I believe, climb up to the semifinals, but certainly not to the grand finals. But we have seen Desertor go against Agent in the last series, and that grand final was sort of not completely decimated by Agent. He actually won Agent's map.
Yep.
But still, like nevertheless, Agent won that. But right now he's not in the tournament, so I'm not sure. But like I had Backstein and Desertor as the two very good contestants to the semi and grand finals, and they are both in the semi and grand finals. But Distant Light has been putting one hell of a show as well. First against Robo and now against Vigor as well. So he may be one hell of a contender also to the grand finals. But they still haven't even started the bans or even given us a key. I'm not sure if they're aware of the lobby currently. Oh, it's the same key. I see. Didn't even have to get out of the lobby.
at the same time. Baxim and Kanza currently playing their first game. You could catch them on the Russian stream if you're interested in their game. So their first map, their maps in general. Let me just quick check them once again. The first map is Amberfall, then Raya, and then Kasbak. And Amberfall is picked by Kanza. So, and the match there just started. So if there are people that are interested, they could check it out. It's just 1 minute and 30 seconds in.
Yeah, and that is streamed on Deathmatch TV, the Russian stream of the series. And Backstein seems to be looking at the first couple minutes here at least. Seems to be 2-0 already, and probably been controlling the Mega. But actually, oh yeah, that goes to Cancer right now. But he's controlling the armors well enough. Just watching the first minutes at least. And Desertor and Distant Light still haven't started their bans. Looking how well Distant Light played those last three maps against Vigor, I believe like Rhea will be like one of his stronger ones, and Desertor will at least ban maps accordingly against him. I would say Rhea and Skybreak especially are just like his stronger maps.
We have our bans now for the same fight news.
Oh,
Dazzler did their first ban, which is on Amberfall.
Before. That is still very understandable. Will be Distant Light's ban next. He is banning Bioplant. We won't see a very close quarters map, although if it's very close quarters, it's just like much smaller than Skybreak or Rhea or any other map.
Extremely aggressive map, reminiscent of Airwalk in a sense.
Oh yeah.
At least in the playstyle, it's different map, but the playstyle is similar.
You can imagine the same, like the Mega is sort of in the same sort of catwalk area as Airwalk, so it's very interesting. But I can definitely see like why they banned that. It's more vertical than any other map. And there's, I believe it's Distant Light's pick next. He is riding, and he's picked Overgrowth.
Yeah, and our first map is going to be Overgrowth from Distant Light, as you mentioned, and Kasbach from Dazator.
Yeah.
So we're going to have one close quarter map, very made for in control, and one much larger map. Though Kasbach is very diverse map. So we're going to be able to see many things on it. And now we only have the bans from Dazator and from Distant Light. And the maps that they have to pick from are now Raya, Monolith, and Skybreak.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Desertor was still playing against Chamo in this last match, so I don't know if he actually saw how well Distant Light played on Skybreak or Rhea, but yeah, I don't know. Monolith also was very well played by Distant Light. It was his pick, obviously, against Vigor, but still played that very well. He's just thinking this through. I don't know if he has played against Distant Light. Well, he hasn't in this series, but I don't know if he has played against Distant Light in the past, possibly even before this whole series. So we have yet to see like what Desertor actually has for him. If he already knows his strategy or anything on all the maps. Desertor has picked a banned Rhea.
So yeah, now we're gonna see. That's also interesting from Desertor, considering they're more that they picked larger map. I would have assumed that maybe they would ban Skybreak, so that or maybe Monolith, as both of Monolith and Skybreak have much more fighting oriented maps. But at the same time, they have opportunities for a lot of rails, and Desertor does have very strong rails, as seen from their match with Agent. And Distant Light
banning
would ban
Skybreak.
Skybreak, and we're gonna fight on Overgrowth, Casback, and the tiebreaker is gonna be Monolith. So yeah.
There we go.
So we're gonna start with Overgrowth from Distant Light.
They still have to set up the maps. There we go. For a couple of weeks, I believe we haven't seen Overgrowth, at least not on stream. Probably it has been played, but like not on stream, not on our stream at least. Okay, we'll be starting with Overgrowth. Interestingly enough, they should have all the armor pickups, red, yellow, and blue. And this one just like has a not too short of a distance between red and Mega here, so they're pretty much on the other sides of the map, although red is more like in the middle, so you can actually have some kind of a very good side going from red to Mega. So in that sense, it is a very short distance to see the Mega area from the red room. This was Distant Light's pick, so we will be starting from him. As long as both players are ready.
No, we are still also waiting for the Deathmatch TV, because they also want to spectate the match. So we are waiting on Kanza and on Buxton to finish their match. And as for their match, it's currently 6-1 to for Buxton. And it's towards the end of the game. It's 7:50 is the timer, and 9:30 is the golden time.
Well, at least we don't have to go to a break. We can just see some warm-up carnage from these two. And Firmstool is already crying about the full screen. We will be going full screen once the match will be starting, and it will be starting in just a moment once we get Deathmatch TV in as well.
That may take a little bit more, because Kaza started taking a little bit of a comeback to Fraxin.
Oh no.
So Kaza could slow us down.
You have to see what they're at.
At the same time, I cannot blame them for wanting to win the tournament. And also giving us a better match. At the same time, we'll be seeing Distant Light and Desertor just practicing it out, getting some movement in, some jumps. Yeah. Desertor actually probably all tap, maybe even watching the match.
He wanted to see himself, like how they're doing. Yeah. I don't know if he's listening to our stream. Yeah. It's like, oh, what the hell? Where are they at? There we go. Distant Light is just practicing, and he's probably all tapped as well. Both AFK for now. But it is golden frag for Backstein against Kansas there, and he's basically won just before he got fragged there by Kansas Shaft. He got a very good rail on him. And now we're ready to get Deathmatch TV in the game as well. Yeah, Overgrowth has some very interesting areas for the weapons as well. And this does feature the Void Cannon, which is, well, I mean, it could be Distant Light's favorite weapon. He hit those pretty well against, who it was, Robo in Amberfall in the round 1 match, which was best of 1. And we'll actually see if he uses it again, like a miniature pincer rifle here. Hitting many consecutive shots with it. Now they're just playing hide and seek on that staircase. I'm not sure, like, do we have to restart the lobby as well if they just wanted to, Oh, they started the second map. Do they still want to join this match?
Okay, I think that we should be starting then.
Yeah.
I guess it was a little bit of a miscommunication. That match was actually wanted to watch to join for this match.
Yeah. As long as both players are ready, we can go. And they're both speaking in Cyrillic letters.
Yeah, Dazator was asking what is happening. Are we waiting?
I can definitely tell from that already that English isn't his strongest languages, but I'll be damned. Yep, he's still putting one hell of a show in warm-up. He doesn't mind, he's just roaming around the map. It's like, yeah.
So we're gonna start with Distant Light. Distant Light is still on top, I believe. No, they just went back.
He's just moving. There we go. We can start as long as both players are ready.
Yep. Distant Light maybe trying to just get a little bit of...
ready. Yeah.
Yeah,
there we go. Finally. So we're starting from Distant Light, right next to the blue and pincer, and even gets the red for. Oh no, he doesn't.
Oh.
Dazator is super aggressive on the red, and he decides to go for the mega still.
Yeah, but that is actually a bad play from Dazator, because Dazator was only took a shot when going for that red and left the mega for free. But it is probably some kind of a play, because usually people go immediately into that little hallway, into the corner with the 4 health bubbles, to deal some damage with the rail, and probably Dazator was trying to avoid that and just went for the red instead.
Dazator once again picks up the red for himself, goes very aggressively on the yellow and gets his first frag on Distant Light.
Yep. And the mega as well.
So it's pretty much now slightly higher on spawn stack. No, never mind, he actually the one pincer and finishes off Distant Light nevertheless. 3 seconds until red will be spawning, and here's Distant Light spawning somewhere. Oh, yep, Distant Light again using the Void Cannon there. One of his favorite weapons. Finally using rockets against Dazator there before picking up the yellow. He is low on health, but he did pick up the yellow. Both are actually very low. 10 HP for Dazator. Yeah, you do not want to go there in the Void Cannon battalion right there. One hell of a hit by Distant Light, and he picks up the mega.
And now Distant Light won't have the yellow right away, but would eventually be able to grab it. Would try to defend the LG for a little bit. Does Dazator have the LG? Yes they do. So back to Distant Light now. This is not now just picking up some small armor pieces. Dazator at the same time has a very strong advantage currently. They'll be able to defend the next red, and Distant Light doesn't even have the red timing. So they're just waiting for the next yellow once again. They probably can figure out that the yellow and the red timing are at the same time, because they were listening most of the time. And Dazator was still able to, well, not steal the mega, but they had the stack advantage in the better position to fight for the mega. And Distant Light going for that fight, and Dazator would be able to just pick up the fight. But at the same time, it would cost them a lot of stack to do that. They would still be able to grab the red in the process. At the same time, Distant Light was able to grab the LG, but won't have the rail yet. Distant Light now using that Void Cannon to just deal some damage on that map. And ooh, what a shot there! And another shot. Dazator would be able to grab the mega, but barely escapes alive from there, and that almost killed Dazzador as well. So Distant Light just controlling Dazzador with that voice cannon very well. And now let's switch to Distant Light. Distant Light was able to grab the red in the process.
Yeah, I really like Distant Light's use of the void cannon here. Just even hits almost every single one of those mid-air shots with it, and indeed completely controls Dazzador in the map, just blocking every single way with that.
Bottler is just trading pincer shots there. A harder pincer shots to hit from Dazzador, but still gets it. Distant Light would now grab the red.
He goes for the red, but Dazzador's Mega is just quickly revoked by that shaft, and now he's only at around 100 health, only picks up the blue there, and Distant Light falls back for the yellow. Another fight. Void Cannon's out again, he's a little bit too slow. Pincer hits though, and another one. Frags him down. 2 to 3.
And Distant Light using their advantage in somewhat better position with the pincer there to just secure the frag. And now it's in a great position, would be able to secure the next mega. At the same time, Dazzador was able to use that time to go for the red, but a little bit too slow, and because of that, Distant Light was able to get there in time to get some great shots, and the rail misses the next rail shot, so Dazzador would be able to survive, but Dazzador is without any armor from that red, would be able to pick up the yellow, however, to get some stack for themselves. Both players switch all the weapons. At least the main weapons.
Yeah.
So now Distant Light is defending that red and just using that pillar to defend from the rockets from Dazzador and finish off the frag with that nice LG.
Yeah. Distant Light now very, very stacked right now. He still tries to secure the red for the yellow for himself. Dazzador does not get it, only gets one blue out of the map, and oh my goodness, that's 2 rails. How many more pincers can he actually hit in a row? Oh, he goes for rockets nevertheless, and Dazzador does manage to put him down to even 130 stack from just up from 400. And even gets him down to, what was that, 13 HP or so before picking up.
It was about 3 LG shots that Dazzador needed to win that fight there. And Dazzador will be able to grab the Mega now. Because of the last fight, Distant Light was very... They managed to secure the frag, but it was still a weak stack for them. Now Dazzador, very aggressive play for them. Even though they had the stack, Distant Light was able to just out-damage them in that situation. And Dazzador in the end went for the jump out. At the same time, Dazzador now is still in a great position to just secure items. If they heal up right now with that Hellbow, they should probably be in a great position to defend the Mega. So yeah, they pushed out Distant Light away and managed to grab the Mega, and would actually be able to get in a position through that portal to the red, but Distant Light just prepared there and manages to get some great damage and eventually pick up the frag.
Very good rockets, and secures the red for himself. Very well positioned. He was just like 5 seconds before that, just around that Mega. Positions now himself very, very fast. And another fight happening on the Mega. This time he's stuck in the corner, barely surviving that shaft over there, and decides to even fall back to the same place. Dazzador hears him. Machine gun damage barely misses, and even more coming. War where that came from, and before he could even pick up the Mega.
Very close sequence of events. Both players just at the start. At the start, Distant Light was doing very badly, but because they actually missed the jump towards the yellow health pack, they actually survived because Dazzador was looking for them in that position and eventually managed to get a rail shot and finish off the frag. And now both players just trading frags constantly. Distant Light getting the red. Would not be able to contest for the Mega, but Dazzador also unaware, I suppose, of the timing. Just pushes, so the Mega is now free for grabs for both players, and Dazzador would eventually return for the Mega. Distant Light probably didn't assume that Dazzador left the Mega behind. Dazzador doing some very nice flow damage there, but
1 HP.
1 HP by Distant Light.
One more shaft would have actually just killed him, but Dazzador's shaft is barely less accurate than that, and he's still chasing him down with a machine gun and some finishing rockets. That was just devastation right there.
Yeah, both players just keep on trading. Both of them know that if they let one of the other players just get the control on this map, it's gonna be devastating for the next several minutes. So they just keep on rushing to prevent that from happening.
Desertor though, very, very low, super low, to even chase Distant Light in the first place, and he indeed frags it out with some very good placed, well placed rockets.
Distant Light sadly missing the teleporter the first time around, and because of that wasn't able to get some nice damage on Dazzler, but Dazzler playing super aggressive going through that portal and would die on the red armor without even stealing it, and there isn't a Mega that is spawning immediately, so Distant Light would be able to secure the Mega as well.
Oh no, he's not!
Dazzler was
he's
able
completely
to
stuck
just...
in the pillars. 3 HP remaining, yep, Desertor is slightly even frustrated that the rockets are just not killing him. And he finally finished him off with a machine gun, but I'll be dead. 12-6. He does put up some very good fights, and Distant Light does keep getting fragged now. So the frags, or the amount of frags per minute at least, is very even, but Desertor has to up that because Distant Light is at golden frag. 13-6 right now. One more pincer hit. No, he's not going to wait for that to kill Desertor right now. And I believe he is still very much pincerable. Waiting for the... Oh, there he is. Slightly too late. He just... too early switching to the weapons, and Desertor will pick up the Mega for himself, but Red goes to Distant Light, but a hell of a lot of death, but still 100 damage. Pincer will finish completely Desertor off and finish the game off as well.
And the first map goes to Distant Light, which was also their pick, and now we're gonna go to Kazbak, which is Desertor's pick. Strong play from both players at the beginning. Desertor playing a little bit too aggressive at the end of the map, which ended up giving a lot of frags and even more control to Distant Light if Desertor was just playing more passively. And also there was a very good steal from Distant Light on that Mega there, and combined with a rocket just to prevent Desertor to getting to the Mega before them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be starting on Desertor in this map just when players are ready up. Oh, and we are actually waiting for DMTV now.
Yeah. Yes, we are, and I don't know, that was very well controlled by Distant Light the entire map. He just excelled with that void cannon. What?
Distant Light.
Distant Light won the previous map, yeah. It was very well controlled by Distant Light there with the void cannon. He just completely blocked the ways for Desertor to actually push into the major items, or even to him when he was just low enough on HP. As long as he just had the void cannon and just very good weaponry, otherwise it was just done. And indeed he was. He finished that with like 14-6 or 7.
Yeah, we are again waiting on Deathmatch TV because actually we could have a... Yeah, we're actually gonna have a third map between Kanza and Baxin, so...
Oh, they're still not gonna join.
Oh, was it the third map? I'm not sure what happened in the... I think the score was screwed up because I saw a 0-1 score, and then this was supposed to be 1-1, but apparently it's actually 2-1 for one of the players. So yeah.
So now we have Deathmatch TV joining us, I believe.
Yep. So
we'll be kicking on the second map of this semifinal. Then Distant Light and Desertor playing on Casbah, and it's Desertor's pick. We already saw a very, very good game by Distant Light against Desertor on Overgrowth. He just controlled the map completely. Not entirely, but like most of the time with the void cannon. And the rest of the weaponry and very good movement as well. It's very interesting to see what Desertor has for his map pick, which is Casbah right now. And DMTV seems to be ready.
To report the scores, Vaccine won, I believe. I'm not sure if it is 2-0 or 2-1. I think the scoreboard has some issues there, but they won the match, that's for certain. So Vaccine would be going for the finals. Kanza would be getting to top 4. So now we're gonna be seeing who is gonna be the second finalist now. Decent Light and Dazzler fighting for that, and also who is also gonna get to the top 4.
As long as both players are ready, we are ready to start the second map in this semi-final, and Desertor seems to be somewhat AFK right now. Distant Light is just moving around. But I'm still going to say, like, well, I don't know, it could be either one going against Backstein in the grand finals here, because Distant Light is putting a hell of an opposition here against Desertor, already did in the first map. That was definitely his pick, but we still have to see what Desertor has to offer on his map pick here. I believe he's in the game finally. We can probably start the match.
So we're gonna be starting with Desertor, as we mentioned before. And here it goes. 3, 2, and we go. Desertor spawning next to the red will be taking the LG blue and then the rocket launcher and the red. Ooh.
Distant Light's already aggressive, contesting the red over there, and he just picked up the Mega.
Yeah,
taking some damage.
Decent Light left out one of the blues and just went immediately for the Rail Mega and went for a shot on Desertor. But Desertor was actually able to get some more damage. And we have an early trade.
Mutual frag already. I'll be damned. I mean, that was synced up rocket hits and synced up, I believe, pincer and shaft hits there. Oh, yeah, that was
Both players will trade the major items now. Desertor, however, was able to get a rail shot in, so a very good play from Desertor. The Desertor now a little bit better and would be able to contest the next threat already positioned there. So let's switch to Desertor, who is now on the red. So here they're gonna pick up the red, dodging those nades, but there are a lot of nades from Distant Light. Distant Light should be barely without any rocket ammo now.
But that was a grenade that just pushed him up there.
Yeah.
And another one, maybe. Yep, there it is. Desertor is still letting Distant Light fire a pincer there. I don't know what was wrong with his weapon switches, but he finally did get that frag, and it's 3-1 for Distant Light. Two very, very fast frags inside 10 seconds, and this is a third one, but it's another mutual frag.
Very fast fragging from the beginning of the map. Just 1 minute and 30 seconds in, and we have 6 frags already.
Yeah. Certainly faster pace than Distant Light's first, like the first map between them, which was Distant Light's pick, and we can definitely see, at least from these first 2 minutes, that Desertor is certainly dominating this map. That's why he picked it.
So now let's go back to Desertor. Desertor would be going to deal some damage on the red, would get a pincer shot, tries to go for another one, a third one, a fourth one, but the fourth one only costs them pincer shots from Distant Light without them hitting anything. Distant Light going for the blue and manages to snatch it right in front of Desertor. So Distant Light a little bit better currently compared to Desertor. Desertor is already positioned on the right, and let's switch to Distant Light, who is going to try to deal some damage on that, but is not in a very good position to contest it. So Desertor would be able to get it cleanly, even manages to get the pincer shots onto Distant Light. Misses the pincer shot, so now let's go back to Desertor. Desertor prepared on the Mega right now, would be able to grab it. Distant Light wasn't able to hit that rocket shot from there, hits the roof instead, and Desertor already prepared for the next one. Red just complete control, but now both items synced up, so Distant Light has some. If Distant Light is just able to survive now, they'll be able to get one of the next items at least. And Distant Light was able to escape from this situation, so now let's go back to Distant Light and see how they played out.
With a very direct, very good direct rocket there, and he does pick up the red for himself. 300 stack. Well, Desertor does fall back for the Mega, so he actually completely heals up that direct damage he just got.
Yeah, Desertor, like both players, just traded the major items now. Distant Light is defending one of the blues, find that sneaky angle and gets the pincer shot, unreturned damage for them.
I was sort of expecting Desertor to at least pick up one of the blues there, right when he's trying to pick up red. He does, but takes quite a lot of damage before picking it up. It's a third pincer hit by Distant Light in a row, and he's pretty much on the same. Well, actually, he's got more armor. Now even more health thanks to the Mega. Desertor tries to make somewhat of a push for it, but doesn't do any damage.
And now Distant Light in a somewhat better position for the red. Would drop down on Dazator now. Would have the second damage, but Dazator dealing some great damage with those rail shots. And the rail shot back from Distant Light. And now both like items are again synced up somewhat. Dazator would grab one of the blues. So now both players in a somewhat equal position stack wise. Distant Light a little bit better now with that blue and would rush for the Mega and would be able to grab the Mega and the frag. And now would be able to even get some damage done onto the red. Dazator would steal the red in the process. However, some very good damage from Distant Light as well.
Yeah, just tries to go for a very risky pincer on that very short range, and for Desertor's luck, he actually misses them, and red will be spawning in 10 seconds, but wants to pick up some smaller stack before that. There's one blue, the other one will go for Desertor, and he probably will be going for this red as well. Yep, there he saw him. Distant Light barely saw the hip of Desertor there, but he finally does decide to fall back for the Mega. Distant Light will get quite a good stack here.
Both players just trading the items. A very nice shot from Dazator here, just getting the stack advantage now. So let's switch back to Dazator, who will get one of the blues and now will be contesting for the red. Likely to get the red as well. Distant Light getting the first damage, but would eventually have to give up their position. And very nice shots from Dazator and going in for the frag, using the portal to close in and gets the frag. Now he's rushing down for the Mega, should be able to get the Mega. Tries to get for a pincer shot and would get a very good position now. Dazator cannot escape from this position unseen because all of their exits are just controlled from the position that Dazator had in this situation. Now Dazator is rushing for the red, but would leave the red behind just for a little bit, creating more of a delay between the items to just chase down the Distant Light in the process. Now using the rocket jump,
very low. Both actually very low after that. Pincer by Distant Light, pretty much equal stack right now, but Dazator will fall back for the Mega, and Distant Light does not decide to take that fight. I think that's very, very wise. 5 seconds until red. Oh, Distant Light's waiting for the TP exit there. Gets one Pincer, but Dazator won't even secure that. Or will he? He's willing to sort of delay it slightly.
Yeah.
Not even go for it.
They want to create again a delay between the items, and they were looking for some damage before that onto Distant Light. Distant Light, they didn't manage to get the damage. Distant Light even managed to get damage onto them, but at least they pushed Distant Light away. So Distant Light most likely don't even have the timing currently. Now Dazator again picks up the Mega. Distant Light should have the timing on the Mega now because of that.
I'm not entirely sure if Distant Light was even sneaking in the corner, even listening for that red pickup. He needs to hear it so that he can perfectly control it, but he's not there. But Desertor's still waiting for... Yeah, I'm on Desertor's view all the time. Oh, by damned. Distant Light finally did hear the pickup.
Yeah, Distant Light hears the pickup, manages to get some defensive rockets in there and dealing about 200 damage there to Dazator with those rockets. Barely detonates, barely missing out, and Distant Light is finally able to grab the Mega there and is in control. They should be rushing now for the red, and they also know the red timing, and would try to get some damage right as the red spawns, but don't manage to get the rocket and eventually just straight rails with Dazator. So now both...
Oh boy. Oh, those rockets by Desertor though.
The
Distant Light stack was completely devastated by those, and indeed it was quite a juggle that he did to Distant Light with those rockets, and red will be spawning once again for Desertor.
But both items were synced up?
Yeah, they were pretty much synced up, so Distant Light was in the other side picking up Mega at the very same time, and Desertor, he got more damage from Distant Light's shaft there.
At the same time, Dazator was destroying the health advantage from Distant Light and is able to heal back some of the health that they lost with the health pickups. So somewhat a better trade in the long run for Dazator. Dazator is now able to get the red armor if they're able to even contest the Mega now, and Distant Light doesn't seem to want to fight for the Mega. They'll just get the blue, get a nice shot onto Dazator, but Dazator is just able to get both major items now and would go to contest the next red from the side. Would need to push into the slow wheel just a little bit, but the slow wheel was a little bit too early from Distant Light, so Dazator was able to get the red in the end and the frag.
Indeed, with the frag as well. It's a 5 frag difference. Desertor, surely enough, picked this map for a very good reason. We can see that it's completely decimating Distant Light here. Smoke Weebo comes out from him, and yep, he will securely just pick up this Mega because Distant Light does not have the health, but also not the vision to contest the Mega there. He instead goes for the red. Desertor trying to barely get a very small pincer angle there, missing it.
Both players just trading the major items now, but Distant Light, but the items were still not so far apart that Dazzler was able to deal some damage onto the red. And now we are going into Golden Frag for Dazzler. The next red is spawning, and Distant Light would be able to actually grab it. Dazzler goes for the health bubble before going for the Mega to get the most out of it. But they still need some armor. Currently, Distant Light in a very good position stack-wise, and now both players equal in stack. So just sneaking around. They both know that the red is the next item, or at least they should know. Dazzler now trying to get damage onto red instead, but a little Distant Light trying to get damage onto red, excuse me, but a little bit too late and gets damage instead. And now Dazzler just waiting
and even
patiently.
after that, yep. Even
And
after that
here
blow.
comes the rockets. A very nice trap to finish off the map. And now
Very much so.
we are 1-1 in these semifinals. Both players trading the picks that they the map picks that they chose, and now we're going into the tiebreaker, which is Monolith. Monolith is the tiebreaker map.
Very good game by Desertor there, but I'll be damned. The last fight there, Distant Light just like tried to rely on the. Oh, there we go. Yes. Tried to rely on the blue even there just to deal somewhat of a damage to Desertor, but yeah, he was just many frags away already, and stack-wise, I believe Desertor just completely dominated the red over there. Oh, there we go, F5. I was the one who didn't vote, so sorry about that.
Oh, there is also other people, and Dazzler was AFK once again, probably taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah, it could be.
Well deserved.
Sure enough, is well deserved after that very good victory there, but Distant Light can actually just exhaust his opponents quite well enough. Definitely see that too, and yep, that story indeed is AFK for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs 30 seconds.
Outside of the first round, we've been following very close match. All matches has gone to the tiebreaker, and most of the matches have gone to 2-0. So we're definitely following the right line of events here.
I like how Desertor says like 30 seconds. He almost has this sort of German timetable himself. It's like it's very, very punctual.
Well, you need
Usually
to have
people
good...
say 1 minute, but even if the German players sometimes say 1 minute, it's exactly 1 minute. It's no longer, no shorter. There we go. I believe that was indeed 30 seconds. So Desertor sure enough has that German timetable.
Yeah,
starting
need...
from Distant Light. Right.
You need to have that time control.
Yeah, certainly do, especially when you're an Arena FPS player. But I'm on Distant Light. He's got the Mega for himself and one blow. Whoa, almost catching that rocket, those rockets, I mean, by Desertor, but gets some very devastating damage
and that
on
nade.
him already. And that nade almost hit him. Almost giving the position away, and Desertor's trying to do some very blind grenades, hits one of them into the slow field Weebo.
Yeah, very good play from Distant Light with that smoke, and now he's even able to get the Mega. Starting off very strong for Distant Light, would be able to get the frag here. Very good place, and now would be even in a position for the next red. At the same time, Dazzler currently picking up the LG, picking up one of the blues. Probably doesn't have the rockets.
Oh, what a rocket jump to red though. Distant. Oh, cut the grenade afterwards.
And Dazzler there.
Yeah, he was.
Correct me.
I'll be damned! What a jump to red there, but Distant Light fails it completely. It was so close for him. And yep, that will be sure enough for a frag. For Desertor there, also picking up the Mega. He quickly intervened the red there magnificently. Distant Light had nothing.
Oh, and now Distant Light
Oh, not
stuck on
again.
that jump up and continues fighting there because Dazzletor ran out of ammo in the middle of the fight, but eventually finishes the frag with the machine gun. And now
Got no ammo on Shaft though. He needs to use a pincer here and even hits that on spawn again.
would get the red, heal up, get one of the blues, and would be rushing now for the Mega. Distant Light already positioned on the Mega, tries to get a rail shot, misses it, and even gets a rail shot onto them from Dazzletor, and now the next red is spawning in 10 seconds, and Distant Light is in a very bad situations, but manages to get, without taking any rail shots and even hitting a rail shot themselves, 3 rail shots in a row from Distant Light now. Distant Light's still very long health, but manages to deal a very good damage into a stack of Dazzletor, but goes for that blue, and Dazzletor is able to secure that frag.
Damn.
Dazzletor finding those nice spots to just keep hitting those shots while in control, getting the Mega, but Distant Light should be in a better position to take the red, but Dazzletor just in time to hit that nice rail shot.
How did he find that angle for it? That was such a small angle for a pincer, but he nevertheless hit it, and he's still very much in control on the Mega. It's not spawning in quite some time. He's just trying to find Distant Light. This middle area is just very deviating sometimes because the freaking camping area. Oh, and that splash rocket. Yep, it's gonna quickly make Distant Light fall back a little bit.
And despite of the great start from Distant Light, Dazzletor is now in control, and I believe that this is due to their great rail shots that they have. And what a fight! Both players very low on health after it, just trading those shots. Now Distant Light already secured a position onto the red, while Dazzletor instead went for a blue and getting some health packs. Distant Light would be able to grab the red and manages to get the last rail shot before they, before Dazzletor was able to finish them off with that LG.
The red was just spawning very early for Distant Light, which was a good thing, especially against Dazzletor's pincers there and the shaft. When that pincer's gonna quickly decimate his jump over there, as well as another rocket jump, but Dazzletor still manages to pick up the red.
Both players preventing the other player to jumping to the right with pincer shots, and eventually Dazzletor was able to secure the frag there, and now securing even another frag, should be able to even grab the Mega when it spawns, and if they rush to the red, they could be able to contest it. Maybe not grab it, but at least deal some good damage onto it.
He's already on it.
Distant Light is already there to contest, but dodged pincer shots from Dazzletor, but because they had the pincer and then they actually didn't have the LG, so they weren't able to prevent Distant Light from jumping onto the red, so very unfortunate for them. Just
and he
ending
also
up
has no rocket ammo right now. He only has pincers to work with. Has to find some ammunition for a while.
Yeah. So both players, on the bright side for Dazzletor, both items are now synced up, so they should be able to at least secure one of the items. They're walking with the empty rockets out, managing to get that very nice shot. Would be able to secure the red, but not without taking damage from Distant Light.
Yeah, after that Mega, Distant Light was very, very fast, just already on the position for a pincer against Dazzletor's red pickup there. He sure enough mitigated that. Oh, boy, but the direct hits and the close quarter fight by Dazzletor, that's gonna be his fight completely.
Yeah, Dazzletor played it very smartly there, trying to secure that blue, using those nades and also using some very good movement to dodge a rail shot from Distant Light there, and eventually managing to secure the frag in that fight. So very nice strategic play from Dazzletor.
And
now
he does get the Mega, but it's quickly revoked, at least the benefits of it are. And Distant Light, well, pretty much the same stack, but I believe he's already positioned for red. Dazzletor does pick up some armor for himself. But that's about it, that's all he can do. Distant Light's nowhere to be seen, so Dazzletor also goes for the red, but Distant Light surprising the hell out of him through that door. It's a pincer hit to put him at least on 199 stack.
Now Dazzletor, very good read from Dazzletor to prevent Distant Light to getting to the Mega from the right spot. And both players
nowhere
were
to be seen on red, but oh my goodness, now he was. Yeah, it was previously nowhere to be seen on red, but Dazzletor knew when Mega was going to spawn, so he kept Distant Light away from it. Nice 2 frags inside 10 seconds, pretty much.
However, Now, if Distant Light is able to... Ooh, those 100 rail now from Distant
100
Light.
damage
From
pincer, and
Dazator.
he keeps on going with them. Distant
And
Light is just...
Those are the pincer shots that I've been talking about that Dazator has, and that we saw in the agent fight as well. But Dazator now actually left the red behind, but Distant Light didn't knew about that, so they would instead go for the LG and trying to get that blue now, and Dazator dropping down on them and getting the frag.
Very good.
So items are once again synced up, so if Distant Light, let's switch to them now, are able to secure weapons and just play it safe, not take too much damage, they will, and stay between the two items, they will be able to pick one of them up. So here they're trying to deal some damage onto the red, and they would even be able to get the red, like getting some very good damage onto Dazator, but Dazator would be able to get the Mega in the end. And now we're getting a very nice float from Distant Light, but Dazator finishing it off very low on HP, but a nice rail and getting the frag. So now that could be the end of the match. Dazator just looking for one last frag. They have 10 frags to work with, and Distant Light stealing that red armor. Dazator very long health, but so is Distant Light. Distant Light finally manages to get that 50 health. So let's switch to Distant Light now, healing up all that health back, and because there was no exit damage for the red, they still have the whole red armor.
I have to say, I don't know how Dazator even missed that rail on the red there when Distant Light was just standing still with such a low HP, but Dazator by a millimeter missed that pincer hit there. But Distant Light did get one frag out of that. 9 frags to go. Make that 8 now. He's got somewhat of a control over the map. Now picked up the red.
And again, very smart play from Distant Light. They knew that Dazator wasn't able to get to the red, so they left the red behind and instead frag Dazator, and then pick up the red, gaining all 100 stack from it. So now playing very smart. Dazator is just in a perfect position for the comeback, and now they correctly read Dazator and get yet another frag. Would be able to finally grab the Mega. At the same time, though, Dazator would now be able to finally grab a major item after so much time. However, that huge damage from Distant Light decimating that major item, that is just again extremely good play currently from Distant Light. If they just can continue with this play style for the next 6 frags, they may secure the game.
Yeah.
So now the red is spawning. Distant Light a little bit late, but instead actually goes for a trap and manages to get some good damage. Dazator also manages to get some damage, but now some good LG even through the smoke from Dazator. Distant Light manages to finally secure the frag, but now Dazator would equalize the position stack-wise. Dazator would still need to secure the rail, but they can just finish off everything with that LG and will be able to grab the red. And now Distant Light in a very bad spot, and Dazator finishes off the game. Very strong semi-finals for both players. Well played. So Dazator will be going to the grand finals, and Distant Light would be in top 4 together with Kanza.
Very good best of 3 there once again. I'll be damned. That last map, Distant Light did make some kind of a slight comeback there when Dazator would barely just lost his control on the golden frag, but he was able to take it back with a couple red pickups. And Distant Light actually, one time he actually had to check for the Mega there, even though he had complete control over the map. But he even had to check for the Mega there, even zoomed in with the weapon. So is it there? Yeah, it's there. I can pick it up. And suddenly Dazator was just, he bought him some time with that, I guess.
So, Belly, your prediction about the triangle was true. Dazator coming from the bottom of the bracket and Backsteam from the
Backsteam from the top. I'm quite surprised. I'll be damned. But Distant Light put one hell of an opposition as well. That was quite good. And we're also looking at Backstein's and Kansas game. Did they win like 2-1, or was it 2-0?
Also very. I still have to congratulate Distant Light on the amazing performance of their games, except the first round were a very, very hard games to win, playing extremely equal games. All the other games, as you can see from the brackets, were 2-0, so very well deserved spot for Distant Light. And now we're gonna see how Dazator will be facing Backstein.
We have yet to see if the lobby's ready. I don't know if we need to go on a break at all.
Yeah, they just need to type the GG well played in the server so that the bot creates a new room.
But I believe we don't have to go on a break since the... oh, there we go. Yep, the match is... even the lobby is right there already. And this will be the grand finals. Best of 5. Backstein will be starting the ban. And I believe Backstein already has a lobby key. I don't know if that's the same. No, it's not the same. You have to go to that lobby instead. Backstein will be banning Casbah first. I think seeing how Distant Light played that one. I think Casbah... oh, sorry. I mean, Desert Tour. How he played that one, I believe he just like saw that after his match against, was it Kenza? So he saw how Desert Tour played on Casbah against Distant Light. And yeah, that's definitely going to be a ban by Backstein. Desert Tour will ban Amberfall. I do have to say that's probably nobody's favorite, so I guess he just has no idea what to ban against Backstein. Or that's just his sort of first ban every time. Backstein will be picking Bioplan for their first map.
Yeah, but Backstein usually known with a little bit more of an aiming style rather than a strategic style, I would say.
Yeah.
So Bioplan makes sense for them. It's also going with Monolith. And considering that their performance of Monolith, I would expect great things from it. But yeah, also Backstein banned Carlsberg, so Dazdor couldn't pick it up once again. And Dazdor smartly banning Amber4.
Very much so, yeah.
Amber4 is a very fight-oriented map.
Can definitely tell that. I mean, Backstein did win like 2 games on it already. I don't know. Well, he won against Kenza on Amberfall.
And
so I
the
guess
last
that's
maps,
still a very sensible pick. But yeah, the last maps indeed are
Raya and
Skyberg.
And Overgrowth for, I believe, Tiebreaker.
Yeah, so we have, let's see, Bioplan, Monolith, and Rhea that we will be at least seeing, but Skybreak will be the first decider map, and Bioplant will be the... oh, sorry, what the hell? The Monolith will be... what the hell? Oh, Rhea. No, Overgrowth. I'm just confused with the map picks right now. Overgrowth will be the last decider map, yes. We will be seeing Bioplant first, and, well, seeing how Desertor played... actually, no, that was Overgrowth. Yeah, sorry. Bioplant is a map we haven't already also seen on the stream. So this will be very interesting.
So, since this is Backstein map, we'll be starting with them.
Yep. Already moving around Desertor, as always, just AFKing in the warm-up. He just needs that punctual 30-second break, and I believe that was already 30 seconds, so he's now moving around.
I'm surprised it isn't 35 or 25.
Or even more punctual, yeah.
Probably just timing the Mega in real life.
Yeah.
Or maybe even playing...
He's just counting seconds in real time, but he's just like imagining how he's picking up the Mega or the red in his head. He has his own game in his head already. It's like he imagines how this entire game would go. But we are ready to start the first map in the grand finals until both players are ready, and here they go. Starting from what was it, Backstein. He's already on the blue and picked up the rocket immediately.
Yeah.
Contesting the Mega there. Desertor decides to go for that instead. And even picks up the red there. He's slightly cornered, but the smoke weave ball is very effective. But that direct rocket against by Backstein against Desator is just completely revoked his stack right there.
Backstein actually had somewhat of a bad movement to the start. They could have gotten the jump with a double strafe jump and then just deny the Mega, deal some damage there, but they weren't able to do that, so Dazdor was actually able to steal both major items. At the end, Backstein was still able to get the frag, but giving a little bit too much room for Dazdor. Extremely aggressive play.
Yeah, Desator for a while there was just slightly cornered when trying to pick up the rest of the weapons there to that blue, but Backstein now superfluous on stack right now, and Desator only has that 200 stack in total. Picked up the red, but takes some damage from the rocket and the shaft. That will quickly be a frag for Backstein, and that red is pretty much his.
Yeah, and now there are not many items on the map. Dazdor would still need to pick up the LG, so that should be another frag from Backstein. This extremely control-oriented map, so now Backstein could just be tracking down more and more frags. Dazdor hitting some very nice rockets, removing the whole health advantage from that Mega.
He's still there.
Yeah.
He was still there trying to corner Backstein there. He is very low on HP, Desator. I don't know if he realized that too well, but he was waiting from there. He has picked up the red. Desator does have slightly less health than Backstein, but Backstein indeed has no armor. All that rocket was very fortunate that they did not hit on Backstein.
Backstein was looking for some exit damage in this scenario, but at the same time they gave up some of the blues because of that. Dazdor with their rail shots, even another one. Now Backstein again, barely on any health. It would be even hard to get the health packs now. And Dazdor rocket jumping should be able to get the frag, and here it happens. The first frag on the board for Dazdor.
Yeah, the pincer shot also has its breaks, so Backstein's very unfortunate pincer hit there just misses, and it gave Desator a break to get the frag there, and it also on the blue.
And now we see that control, that room. It's really hard to get out of it. So Backstein, so Dazdor was able to just get a great shot. And now because of that rail shot, Backstein would also drop down and not be able to grab the Mega. Now we're gonna see a fight on the red. Backstein will take the red. Dazdor misses that rocket. Backstein just barely dodges it at the right moment, getting no damage from it whatsoever. So Backstein manages to get that fight there, very good, and we are now seeing.
Man. Oh, he's trying to look for Backstein here. I guess not up in just 5 seconds, and Backstein's trying to maybe fall back for red instead. Yeah, I think he is. Yeah. And Desator has finally picked up the Mega there. Tries to go for a pincer hit in the slow field, but grabs one instead. From Backstein.
Very smart play from Backstein. They knew that Dazdor would be looking there for some exit damage, so instead they played it slow, baited a rail shot, and then got a rail shot from their own.
So many teleports. I'm quite glad there wasn't a telefrag, but Desator 10 HP. Tries to escape. Probably dead. Backstein is still fast enough with the movement and the shaft to kill Desator there.
Dazdor with some very good rail shots right now. And he knows that now Backstein could just grab both major items, and Dazdor doesn't want to allow Backstein to grab both major items for free, even if it's gonna cost them the frag. They just want to keep them from getting overly stacked, because that is just a death wish on that map. And now let's switch to Dazdor. Dazdor is going now for the rail, which is a very important weapon for them on that map. Would be able to heal that damage up, but still wouldn't have armor because of that nice rail from Backstein there. Ooh, what a shot! And now would be able to grab the red, and practically for free until they decided to just rush into Backstein, and the juggle into the LG from Backstein, getting some nice damage. And a good actually rocket from Backstein that we didn't saw. It was from Dazdor, which we didn't saw off screen, dealing some nice damage to Backstein.
Yeah, Backstein can plus back from the major pickups after he realizes that the pickups have been picked up by the enemy, but he can deal some damage at the same time quite well, especially with the shaft and the pincer, as we could see there. The pincer missed, but the shaft is still dealing some damage. Rockets coming from above, tries to pick up the Mega, goes for a very low HP, but after the Mega pickup, he gets his health back and gets the kill on Desator.
Very unfortunate
Man.
for Dazator. Dazator was trying to score some additional damage and just finish Baxin off, but Baxin was just able to just barely get away and even managed to steal the Mega in the end, despite the rail shot from Dazator. So very unfortunate for Dazator, not estimating correctly the health of Baxin there, and Baxin was able to get on top because of that. Now Dazator, despite not having the stack, is in a good position there to prevent Baxin from pushing in, and would be able to trade major items with Baxin. Baxin is still 100 stack above, and now he's just looking for a trap, listening for Dazator, and here comes that sneaky pincer rail from Baxin. Very smart play.
Finds these angles like no time right now. Dazator at 200 stack very much. Baxtein barely higher than that thanks to the mega health very much, and now Dazator is ready to go for the red, but he's completely cornered in the slow field. I'm quite surprised none of those grenades actually hit by Baxtein.
Yeah. No exit damage from Baxin there. And some good exit damage from Dazator, but Dazator playing a bit too aggressively there, which leads to 3 nice rails from Baxin, and now both players very low. Dazator manages to pick a 50 health in the end, and then the blue armor. So now Baxin will be first to red, would be able to secure the red. Dazator instead is now, let's switch to Dazator actually. Dazator is looking for some exit damage, and Dazator does find some exit damage, but at the same time Baxin with that rail shot doing some huge damage. So Dazator is back, trying to look for some small items and trying to survive. So Baxin manages to get the mega. We're switching back to Baxin now, who is fully in control, just looking for Dazator and trying to finish it off. And Dazator with that sneaky rocket angle there, just juggling Baxin and then just running away immediately, getting a blue of their own and healing their health back. Very smart play from Dazator, managing to survive being out of control in this very dangerous map. But in the end, a bit too ambitious from Dazator there, and Baxin was able to secure the frag.
He's in the lead for 5 frags, make that 4 now as Dazator makes quite the mid-air against Baxtein, trying to pick up that mega.
And now
Baxtein now right on spawn, he does pick up the red, and Dazator is at no armor at this point.
Yeah, Dazator was using their advantage with the weapon, but in the end weren't able to deal enough damage to justify that fight in there. Would be able to grab a blue in the end, but won't have a good position on the red. Baxin, as we now switch to them, would be able to grab the red right now, and would actually be slow on the mega, and this would give Dazator the mega. So now no more items on the map, both players with equal stacks, and I believe with all weapons.
At least the very unholy trinity right here, the rocket shaft and the pincer.
Very unfortunate for Baxin, because Dazator is able to secure both of the blues now and would be contesting for the red. Here coming for some damage. Even if Baxin was able to get the red, Dazator was able to get 2 reds, a red worth of stack with those 2 blues. And now Dazator securing the kill and should be securing the mega as well. And this is because Baxin was just he was controlling the position there, but they didn't deny any of the blues, so Dazator was just able to get all of that stack there. So good strategic play from Dazator, and Baxin didn't punish at all.
Yeah.
Now Dazator looking for that exit damage on the red. Didn't manage to get anything, but should be able to get one of the blues at least now. Both players now with equal stacks. However, Dazator getting that nice rail shot, and Baxin gets the rail from it. More great rail shots from Dazator. Picking up the mega.
He really does want to take that teleporter every time. Gives Dazator 2 rails.
And despite the frag advantage for Baxin, this map, the tides could turn just very fast.
Yeah.
And now Dazator is in a full control. Are they gonna make good use of it? They should just find Baxin, like try to get some damage, because if they find them, Baxin is just gonna be in a very open position. And here it comes, GLG, there's gonna be a rail shot, and a very strong rail shot. Now Dazator is rushing to the red to deny the red, but Baxin manages to read that correctly, instead just returns to the mega and steals the mega. So nice read from Baxin, which allows them to stay alive. They use the mega mostly for healing purposes. They don't get that much stack out of it over the initial stack. And now and now also Baxin is just listening for Dazzler. Doesn't go for any of the major items because it's very not the majors for the blues, because it's very dangerous on that map. Eventually Baxin heard the Dazzler, went for the red, so they let them take the red and got a blue instead, but Baxin wouldn't have the red timing because of that. Now Baxin would have the mega timing, but at least they will know that the red is the next item that is coming. Dazzler in a 200 stack currently. A very good roll from Baxin there. Unreturned damage for them. And now Dazzler will delay the red just a little bit. And now Baxin in the maximum stack that they can have without the major items. Dazzler just looking to cut them off and finish out the frag.
Oh no!
And now
pincer hit and the shaft. But the rockets will miss. Another pincer on Desertor. I will actually admit. Oh, he didn't even pick up the mega there. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And very good read from Dazzler. They knew that Baxin would probably not go for the red at this low HP, and they returned to deal some additional damage. They missed the shot, but at least they had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Now they will be denying the next blue now.
Backstein tries to. He is on golden frag. Tries to deal at least some damage on Desertor to even get the major pickups here, and he certainly enough hits one pincer through the smoke, just barely.
Yeah. And both players are probably gonna be trading the major items. Dazzler will find the exit damage. However, they left the mega behind, but actually reading Baxtin correctly and just rushing them down. Baxtin in very low health, and now Dazzler will finally grab the mega and would be able to even secure both of the blues if they wish. But actually Baxtin rushing for one of the blues, that could cost them a rail shot. And here it comes, maybe even another one. Baxin was actually able to hit a rail shot back, and the red is now up for grabs, and Dazzler is actually slightly out of position, so Baxin will be able to get it without taking much damage. And now Baxin just rushing down Dazzler. Both players are in an equal amount of stack with all the weapons and everything. Now Baxin picking that blue armor would help them out a lot. Dazzler would finally pick up the mega, but a very nice rail from Baxin to just reduce that health advantage almost to zero, and would grab the red now.
Yeah, Desertor really has to fall back to one of the blues there, but he did pick up the mega, slightly mitigated by that. Rail by Backstein there. Oh, he's coming at it again. Desertor this time hits one pincer on Backstein, and Mega's not spawning in just in 10 seconds. The items are otherwise pretty much synced up though. Backstein is on the mega platform trying to just completely evade Desertor picking it up, and I believe they just trade the items. Yeah.
And here Baxin was waiting to hear that mega pickup and then went to the red, and both players just traded them out. And instead Baxin, let's switch to them now. They just went for the blues now to just get a little bit more stack, and now just both players just trying to hear each other out. And here Baxin, Dazzler goes for a rail shot but misses both of the rail shots. Now Baxin, very nice defense from Baxin with the LG, preventing Dazzler from dealing any additional damage. And now leaving the red behind and instead going to deal some damage on the mega. Very smart play from Baxin. And now Baxin should be able to get the red after the fact with some additional damage onto Dazzler. As you can see, 50 less health advantage for Dazzler currently. So let's switch back to Dazzler. Dazzler just sneak past, just trying to hear where Baxtin is and get that red. Very slow game for the last several minutes since the golden frag started. Here Dazzler would be able to grab the red for free, though the red wasn't a big kill for either player, just 50 stack. Now Baxin pushing in, doing some great damage, and that rail, that could be the end of the match, and first match goes to Baxin. So Baxin takes their bioplant, which was their own pick. And the next map is Monolith, if I believe. Yes, it is.
Yeah, very good attempt of a comeback by Desertor there, but Backstein, he was struggling with the control for quite some time, but still managed to get it back, especially with the mega side there. And Desertor just was pretty much helpless, even with the blue armors. That was a very good game by both players, but very well done. Backstein taking his map basically back. And now we're on Monolith. Will be Desertor's pick. Oh yeah, there's people in the chat just like confused about our casters' nationalities. Yeah, I'm from Finland, not from Helsinki though. I'm in the southern part of Finland, but like not in Helsinki. No.
So yeah. And I'm really surprised actually with the first map because as I was mentioning, Battleland is a very aggressive map and we actually had a very close scoreboard and a very slow game most of the time.
Yeah.
Both players were playing just incredibly, like the reads by both players were great. It was a very smart, mind game oriented play style from both of them. So we're gonna be starting with Dazdor this time around. Dazdor will be getting the rail, would go first for the blue, then the rocket, and then would get for the mega. So mega would have a little bit more of a delay than usual. At the same time, Baxin getting both of their items, having the LG and everything. So now we have a bit. Dazzler wouldn't be going for the LG right away. They will actually be defending the rail, creating a sort of a trap there. But Baxin instead was just playing very slowly and would actually leave the red uncontested, and they will get the rail. But Dazdor just even if they got hit by that rail shot, that armor that they got is just too effective for them, and they should be able to get the first frag as they do. And with all the weapons and everything, now they're in control. Baxin with a very strong misplay at the beginning, probably trying to just get some extremely smart play, but backfiring into them. And now Dazdor is...
They should go in zigzag in the same area right now. They're listening to each other. Desator gets the red though.
And that just plays into Dazdor better because the more that they delayed, the more time would be until next mega. But Baxin was able to get the better position now, and those rockets just finishing off. So even though Dazdor had the better delay, they actually weren't able to secure the mega, and now those delays actually play in Baxin's favor.
It's red's ready for him now instead, and Desator tries to secure it. It's like, oh, wait for me, but no, he's but he still gets Backstein with those very, very accurate rockets. Backstein himself just struggling to hit Desator down to oblivion with that stack. He is on 50 HP, but still gets Backstein.
Dazdor barely surviving there. Both players just playing extremely aggressive rush game right now and trading kills, but Dazdor was finally able to break the cycle and finish off Backstein with very strong aim there.
And those rockets going with them.
Ooh, and Dazdor now using the rocket to deny the 50 health from Baxin.
Very cleverly played there. 5 seconds to red at least, and Dazdor is just completely camping it right now. Yep, he's very confident he will get this actually.
And let's go to Baxin currently. Baxin on the mega, but gets hit directly in the face with the rocket, instantly dying.
I sort of switched to him, but yeah, I switched back to Dazdor immediately. Damn.
We have to experience those frags even from the person who dies.
Yeah, that's very much true. But only I could see is just like pieces of Backstein from his perspective as soon as I switched to him. But yeah, it's very...
Oh, and both players now around the corner, just waiting each other out. Backstein wanting to hear the red timing, and Dazdor doesn't want to let them have that information. Now again, both players playing extremely passively and slow. Dazdor was finally able to get a very nice rail shot and was also waiting out, and now Baxin is in a very bad position. That could be a frag for Dazdor, and here it comes. Now Dazdor should be rushing for the red and misses that nade, and because Baxin was able to steal the red and with some very nice rockets kill of Dazdor as well, and now Baxin is chasing for a kill. But they smartly decide to stop because they know that there could be some nice defensive rockets from Dazdor, and Dazdor would have now the weapon advantage.
Finally trying to hear where Desator is going. Oh, the rocket jump fails on the ceiling, but Desator also just jump for the red, and it also misses.
Yeah, and Dazdor missing that rocket jump there, very unfortunate for them.
Yeah, Backstein needs to be very happy about that. According to the chat, that I'll be damned, he gets his second frag inside 10 seconds, pretty much.
Yeah, Baxin was able to just find Dazdor in that situation and just finish off Dazzler very quickly, and Dazzler with those defensive rockets, and even the rails. Vaccines are very control HP,
Oh
but
no.
in the end, Dazzler chases down, finish off the frag with this, and now we have Buxton hitting a direct mid-air rocket, but that is not enough for the stack that Dazzler had. But at the same time, still a smart play from Buxton in this situation. If Buxton didn't went for that rush there, Dazzler would have just been able to grab both of the major items for free. Instead, because of that rush, Buxton was able to deal some nice damage and then grab the red. And because of that, we had the trade that we just saw. So actually, very smart play from Buxton there, even if they got fragged.
He tried to convince Desertor there on that spawn. It's like, that's my mega, but he didn't pick it up, but it eventually paid off for him with the red pickup. Now he has picked up the mega. It's just completely cornered by Desertor there, almost hitting those grenades as well, taking the elevator. Oh boy, that's a direct hit. In the smoke. Desertor has no idea, but finally finds him right on the edge of the smoke and LGs him down. Ooh, and another very good streak of LG 6s in a row and a pincer hit finish.
A very tight angle on that pincer there. Now Buxton super low, and Buxton is now trapped in this corner map. And what a nade! And Dazzler is celebrating with quick weapon switching.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he's happy about that.
Dazzler
At a
now
6 frag lead.
Dazzler is now playing slowly on the red. They will be able to secure the red without any contestant. Buxton knows that it's very dangerous to contest and instead went to grab some weapons. So now Buxton has all the weapons, manages to survive that encounter even if they got more damage for it. So better encounter for Dazzler. Now Dazzler is just trying to finally get some LG ammo because they were low on LG. They'll be able to secure that red now. And Buxton is already there on the Mega, would be able to steal the Mega, and we're getting a little bit of a fight now.
And Buxton is still very much confident just pushing it through, at least pushing some damage on Desertor there. He did pick up the Mega, but Desertor now only relying on some smaller armor there. Red will be spawning in 5 seconds. Buxton is nowhere to be seen.
Now 200 stack advantage for Desertor. Buxton just trying to survive, but Dazzler hears Buxton, and ooh, what a shot from Buxton. Buxton knew about Dazzler being there, and Buxton now is probably gonna die, and here it comes. And Dazzler will be able to pick up that Mega, will be able to pick up 1 blue. Buxton will probably pick up only 1 blue, get the LG, but now Dazzler is in a good position to contest that blue and would leave the red behind to just deal some damage. And now both players again zigzagging above each other, but now Buxton would commit into the red, reading Dazzler correctly and just steals the red. At the end, Dazzler was a little bit too fast and manages to get a rail shot in there. Now we're getting a strong fight, but Dazzler should be able to survive because of that rail shot from before.
Slow field Weebo. Desertor was in it, but Buxton still gets fragged, but also gets the frag afterwards. I believe Desertor just picked up the Mega there, but still Buxton will get that frag. Also picks up the red. Desertor is very heavy on the shaft, but still Buxton gets the frag. 7-13 now.
Yeah, and now Buxton is trying to work towards a comeback using some great shots. They were in a position right now to get a kill with the pincer shot, but not anymore because of the health packs and the armor that Dazzler just picked up. And Dazzler with a very tight angle there manages to secure frag. Would be Buxton is able to rush down just a second too early for Dazzler there, and didn't manage to pick up the Mega and died in the process. However, Dazzler was still able to grab the red after that because both items were synced up.
Buxton still has 6 frags to go for. Doesn't look too good on him, at least now stack-wise, but he does have somewhat of a control on the Mega. He just tries to secure that whole side of the map on there. Desertor is ready to make a push here. 80 damage from that pincer. 85 will finish him off.
And
5 more to go.
68% pincer accuracy from Buxton right now, just hitting those amazing shots. Now let's switch to Dazzler. Dazzler actually is with a very good pincer accuracy as well, 60%.
Damn.
Yeah, and that
Yet-
slow weevil is gonna prevent Dazzler from getting that strong position there, but they don't need it because Mega isn't spawning anytime soon. The next item is red. Baxin will be able to get a nice exit damage there with the pincer, but now Dazzler is in a very good position to secure a frag, but actually lets Baxin grabs the Mega first, and Baxin is able to just exit there, dealing damage to Dazzler without Dazzler being able to deal any exit damage whatsoever.
Some very unfortunate rockets by Desertor as well. None of them hit there. He tried to do some damage and apprehend that Mega area there, but now he's gone for the red. He's got golden frag. Baxtein's indeed not looking too good after that pincer.
No more items on the map, so Baxin is now in a very tough situation, and Dazzler is just looking to secure that kill, but Dazzler making the wrong read, trying to just secure the kill, and instead Baxin goes under and steals the Mega away from Dazzler, and now Dazzler is just trying to keep Baxin there so that later on that they can pick the red uncontested, but they didn't manage to pick them there for enough time, but Baxin instead went for a blue.
Very good directed, mid-air directed on Baxtein there, but Desertor does take quite a lot of damage from the shaft already.
However, Baxin took most of their damage into their health advantage, so Dazzler would be able to heal it off with health packs. Baxin would again pick up the Mega, so that engagement before was much better for Dazzler still, and now both players trading the major items, but Dazzler will have 50 stack advantage currently after Baxin picked up that blue. And now with that pincer, 100 stack advantage for Dazzler. They'll be waiting for the Mega, but Mega isn't spawning anytime soon.
No time.
So they'll finally return for the red, and now both players very close together right now. Dazzler would just deny that red, would deal some damage before two very nicely placed pincers before the Mega, but now Baxin with that slow weevil, both players extremely low, and they will just back away.
Oh! Not Baxtein though, yep. He just went into the Mega side. Checked if it was there, but no it wasn't. But this machine getting by Desertor is just almost Baxtein's demise here. He's still very low after those health pickups. He needs to find some health.
Yeah, and Dazzler was able to pick the red in the process, so let's go back to Dazzler, who will probably be picking up the Mega now. Would finally grab that rail, so now in a very strong stack, Baxtein with barely anything. They don't have even one blue armor, so 100 stack for Baxtein. Baxtein finally manages to find one of the blue armors, but now are stuck. They took the more dangerous blue armor that is much harder to get away from, and now Dazzler would be able to finish the second map with a victory for them. So 1-1, both players trading their map picks.
Damn, this is what you want to see out of a grand final. Very close games and just very close comebacks as well, but still also very close maps. 1-1. We still have indeed 2 maps to go now, at least 2 maps.
Yeah, and now we're
Next
gonna
one
be
will
going
be
to
on Ray.
Baxtein's pick. And I'm starting to realize why this is Baxtein's pick, because Baxtein has very smart mind game style of play. They're very good at reading their opponent, and this is exactly what shines in Rare. Rare relies on those hard reads. It obviously has a lot of the strategy, but being able to just read where your opponent will be is just gonna secure a lot of frags for you. So let's see how Baxtein starts. Baxtein will start with the red. Actually, Dazzler wouldn't go for the rail. They will leave the rail to Baxtein, so Baxtein would be able to get the rail and the LG. Oh.
Baxtein decides to fall back. Yeah, here the machine gun ricocheting. And does not deal any damage, but receives no damage either. Finally, Desertor does have the rail for himself.
Baxtein does have the advantage with the LG now, and would be able to push back. Dazzler would chase down Dazzler, would try to secure a frag early on, and here comes the first frag. Would go to heal up, but leaving the red behind him. Huh.
Yeah, he's very ambitious getting that frag, and now he's slightly early on this Mega, but Desertor will be already on the other side of the map, realizing, oh, he didn't even pick up the red. And he goes for the red instead, and Baxtein will take the Mega for himself. A very ambitious frag, but still, nevertheless, a very good first frag by Baxtein.
So Baxtein getting the frag advantage, but now the players will be equal in weapons and everything. And Dazzler getting a better surprise, but missing the rockets after that, and Baxtein just calmly managing to get that frag.
He
should be
almost
able
sort
to
of stood still there. He didn't even sort of strafe too much.
Yeah, they should be able to get the red and also be in a position to contest that Mega, but very nice shots from Dazator, preventing this from happening and just finishing even and getting a frag on Baxtin. So now Dazator in the driving seat, getting another frag with 2 great rail shots. And even finding Baxtin right off spawn should be able to secure the frag, and here it is.
Break that 5 pincers in a row now. This is
Yes, 66% pincer shots. So now Dazator in control and with the frag advantage. Strong play from them, but nice rocket to rare from Baxin now. Baxin is a position to contest that Mega, and Dazator, very strange jump from them. Maybe trying to confuse Baxin, but even if they did manage to confuse Baxin, they would have been in a very back position after that. Dazator was still able to grab the red after that. However, they don't have the LG, so Dazator is using that advantage with the LG, and Baxin manages to survive on 9 HP. Finally, Dazator finally getting the kill, but not without taking a direct rocket into the face. And now Dazator is trying to Baxin is trying to finish off the frag, but Dazator just barely manages to survive and picks up the red while hitting a nice rail shot into Baxin.
how is he still alive? How are both players still alive? I'm quite surprised about that. But Dazator just not even down to the machine gun or that direct rocket. It barely missed. Baxtin picking up the Mega in smoke. Oh, going through the TP. Will be quickly surprised by Dazator, but he's still remaining at 18 HP and getting the frag by Baxtin. But oh boy.
Dazator surviving on just 9 stack, but later on Baxtin finds them and just chases them down, finish off the frag and grabs the red for them. So now Dazator is actually gonna be in a very bad situation stack-wise, but they still have 1 frag to work with. A great shot from them to lower the stack disadvantage. And now both players are going to be fighting for that Mega. Dazator is a bit too early on the platform, but Baxtin doesn't manage to get those, to dodge those rocket shots, and just eats both of them in, and Dazator manages to secure the kill. Baxtin would, however, be able to secure the red now, and also rail, without taking any damage in return.
And that was very close for Baxtin there. I'll be damn, picking up that Mega, and yeah, we just barely picked it up just before down to the last shaft hit there. Oh, hello. Baxtin just finally gets an angle for Dazator there. He heals up from the 50 pickup, but does not get the red. Baxtin will just quickly rush into the other side of the map, getting the red, but taking a pincer hit whilst traveling to Mega here. Dazator will actually get that for himself, but not without a pincer hit on its own.
Very unfortunate for Baxin. They're hitting themselves with a slow weevil, and because of that they weren't able to deal some good damage onto the Mega. Now Baxin very low on health, will be trying to secure some health packs, and during that time Dazator would be able to just secure that red completely for free. And no more items on the maps. Dazator would just be looking for Baxin. Baxin finding some very good rail shot here, and another one.
How does he manage to do that?
Dazator would still survive another rail shot, but they definitely don't want to take one. So they'll heal up, get the blue. However, now Baxin will be there to contest the red and would be able to even take the red. Tries to push in to get another shot in, and because of that, Dazator was able to get the opportunity to get another shot, even if they misses the shot. Ooh, and that weevil just sends Baxin right across to Dazator, and now the bounce from Dazator.
I don't know which favor that was. Probably more on Baxtin's favor. Just like sort of wanted to get on Dazator's face anyway. So yeah, there we go.
At the same time, Baxin was very confused from that situation,
and like, hey,
didn't manage to get any good shots after that.
Yeah. He has picked up the Mega, taken enough damage so that he has no armor, but Dazator here, the red does not protect him from too much damage, which is already done by Baxtin.
Baxtin trying to rush in for another shot, but Dazator already on the blue, just picking it up while Baxtin is just looking for an angle. The red is now spawning. Dazator will be able to pick it up, and will be able to pick it up without taking any damage. Would also be able to pick up the rail, and Baxtin trades that for the Mega item.
Baxtin here trailing with 1 frag. He has been doing somewhat of a comeback against Dazator's frags here, and now he's a little bit cornered, putting Dazator low with the
some
kill as
great
well.
damage from Dazzler, but Dazzler was still able to secure frag. He's able to push Baxin away from
Wow.
the red and finish off the frag with that nice pincer shot. Strong
Juggles.
play from Dazzler, and now Dazzler will get even another frag.
Juggles Backstein above the red and then just completely decimated him. He couldn't even pick up the red there. It was Backstein, at least according to the chat in game, seems to be very happy about that. Not really.
So both players are now gonna be fighting for the red. Baxin is in a better position to pick it up, so Dazzler will just push away. Would get a nice rail shot in the process now. And now Baxin doesn't have a rail, so Dazzler is just gonna be using this situation to deal some great damage. Baxin barely survives that encounter on just 13 HP, and Dazzler finds Baxin and finish off the frag.
Quite the spawn for Desertor there, and red is going to be spawning. Mega's also up. They haven't just gone that for that at all, but Desertor now securing the red for himself. Backstein decides to fall back. He actually knew about the Mega as well.
Yeah, both players just trading the major items, but Dazzler is still in a somewhat better position currently, but Baxin could fix that very quickly. And here
that's
Baxin fixed
field
it up.
Weeball. Yep. Sort of fixed it.
Yeah.
Field Weeball just completely decimated that fight for Backstein there. That was just not in his favor. Jump pad will get most of the stack away from Desertor, but Mega will be spawning in just 3 seconds after that. Backstein's already on the platform through a Desertor through a smoke Weeball there just to prevent the sight there. But Backstein was already on the platform, still grabs a pincer right after the pickup. 5 seconds until red. Desertor is just in position for it. Backstein decides to rocket some instead of taking the TP there. 60 HP for Desertor. And he's not going after him. Sort of respective for the opponent right there. 10 seconds until Mega. But Desertor getting some slight hits with the pincer there just to mitigate Backstein's stack on the red. With the Mega. Now he has both pickups essentially, and red is spawning once again, and Desertor just wants to hear when he picks up the red, and when he comes around to the corner, he has no idea where Desertor is actually.
Oh, but Baxin has an idea where Dazzler may be. And here's
Oh,
the
yep.
pickup, and here comes the frag.
Oh yes, indeed. So
Very
what may have
smart
an
play
idea.
by Baxin. Baxin knew
Certainly.
that they couldn't have gotten away from that situation, so they just waited it out. And the mutual, what a series of event.
Yeah, that's not gonna be very grateful for Backstein right now. He's not gonna be very happy about that. Well, I'll be dead.
Dazzler ran out of LG ammo at the point, and Baxin had some great rockets and rail shots there, and Dazzler just barely manages to survive this onslaught and go on top, and now we'll be able to just heal up, we'll be able to grab the red now, and will be much better stack-wise, and Baxin rushing them down, and now Dazzler in the golden frag, and they even have the stack advantage to do a lot with it, but Baxin was fast enough on the Mega so that they were able to get a Mega without any damage, but they will take some damage before they take that drama, which decimates the health advantage that they got from the Mega. And now Baxin rushes down, manages to kill Dazzler, but Dazzler will still be in a strong position currently. Baxin has 100 stack advantage, and now with that pincer shot, Dazzler will be struggling.
So 5 frag difference, and Desertor is just very low, so much low that he can actually get pincered there.
Make that 4.
Make that 4 indeed. And Mega will be Backstein's right now.
And now Baxin is just on fire, would be able to get in a position to secure the red as well, and now would be looking to deal some damage and maybe even take a frag. Now will be chasing down Dazzler through the portal, doesn't get the correct read with the rocket, but Dazzler is still very low on health.
He just rocketed himself there on that corner as well. It's not going to look very good on him. Wolverine gets a lot of shaft damage on Backstein and goes very low after that pincer hit by him.
Dazzler just barely manages to survive from this encounter, but this could be the end for them, and it is. And now Baxin is managing to get the red, gets a nice shot after Dazzler picked up the red, and now we have a fight, and Dazzler manages to hit the direct rocket, and GG. Dazzler steals away one of Baxin's map picks. So now Baxin will have to do the same if they want to stay in the game.
Yeah, Backstein went a little bit too ambitious, all the damage and the frags there. I don't know, he probably even grabbed the red just before that last fight, but still went for a hell of a rampage there. So much so that he really felt the bloodlust just to get all the frags. But Desertor did finally finish it off with, I believe, 14-11 score there. Magnificent game by both, but also magnificent, almost a comeback by Backstein there on his own map. But now we're on Skybreak, the sort of first decider of
the match
the
point
best of 5.
for Dazator. This could be Backstein now has to perform very well. And
this is Desertor's pick also, so he has to sort of watch out his strategy here. We are starting from him indeed. He goes for the Shaft and the Mega. That's all he has right now. Then the yellow and the rocket.
Both players just trading things now. They just have the weapon disadvantage, but now the only weapon disadvantage for Dazator. Backstein would take a lot more damage in the process, and Dazator would take the first frag. Would not have a lot of stack left after that, but should be able to fight for the next red. Actually, would back away, afraid from Backstein aiming, and would just go for the yellow instead.
Goes back to the yellow and
would be able to.
Oh no, that jump pad is gonna be his demise. 10 HP remaining.
At the same time,
but he didn't even pick up the Mega.
Backstein fell down and failed the jump to the Mega, so eventually Dazator with that nice shot is able to secure the frag and then the Mega. Wouldn't give them a lot of stack advantage because they used it all to just heal up. And Backstein will be able to take the frag right back and now would have somewhat of a stack advantage themselves. At the same time, Dazator would be able to pick up a yellow, which will be damaged quite a lot by that pincer shot. So now both players again at equal stacks, with Backstein having the weapon advantage. So yeah, now Backstein will be able to get that red for free because Dazator doesn't have a pincer shot to deal some damage there. Actually, Dazator had a pincer shot, probably picked it up from a dead body. And now both players just training again. Both players extremely low. One pincer shot could take both of them out, and Dazator now manages to heal back and get the yellow, but the float from Backstein and now Dazator is barely alive. Backstein should be able to secure that red there, but Dazator was still trying to get a good rail shot there, but instead gets a rail shot onto them.
4 hits in a row. Oh, actually, that's not 5 hits in a row with the pincer, and Backstein's damage and the accuracy with the pincer could not be any better. 80%.
88 before they missed the last one.
And he has shot at quite a lot of pincers, I do have to say, and he's just probably missed one and completely revoked his streak with the pincer, but 38 HP after that blaster massacre by Dazator there. Oh, but very low HP himself, and hitting those 2 pincers in a row, Backstein secures the red for himself quite magnificently.
It's still very dangerous for Backstein because Dazator has the stack advantage with that yellow that they just picked up, and now they should be fighting for the Mega. And Dazator is actually not in position for the Mega, a bit too late on the Mega, so now both players very low on HP, Backstein a little bit better, and both players will be rushing for the red. And what a nice rocket from Dazator, but eventually gets fragged by Backstein.
Yeah, I guess he just had a boost of confidence from that direct hit rocket there, and decided, oh, I can kill him then, but no, he couldn't. Backstein had still some armor left even before that red pickup. 3rd pincer in a row inside the slow field. Dazator's just struggling on such a low stack. He does pick up 1 blue. Backstein, in the meantime, gets the Mega for himself when Dazator's just nowhere to be seen. He's also picking up the red. Backstein now falls back for the yellow, then securing it for himself instead for Dazator. Now he's on such a stack advantage. He ought to make a hell of a push out of this. He sees him. Tries to listen to him picking up that blue again. Probably is estimating that the red will spawn right afterwards. Yep. And he's coming right at him. Right after him, too. Both players deal quite a number of shaft damage there, but Backstein has the stack advantage. Picking up the Mega there. Barely missing that pincer. Dazator falls back.
And Dazator also had some nice pincer shots, and now even a second one, a good pincer shot to exit the fight with, to equalize the fight damage, and then this one. But now, Backstein would chase, and Dazator didn't manage to get another shot in before they fall down. here Baxin will swap the smoke weebo for the slow weebo.
And the yellow's up too. Desertor's completely staggered by that chef damage and the knockback.
Dazator thought that Baxin would already be on the yellow picking it up, so they preferred the rocket in there, but Baxin still wasn't there, so Baxin was able to come on top after that fight. Dazator again
heavy.
Rushing down, and still rushing down and trying to decimate Baxin stack, and they do indeed decimate the stack, but at the same time Baxin still has the weapon advantage, and now with that yellow would be very well. A good shot from Dazator there, but a pincer back from Baxin, and then another pincer back from Dazator, barely misses another pincer that could have been a frag, and now both players would trade major items. So Dazator gave up 3 frags to get the stack equalized. So we'll see if they're gonna be able to get those frags back now, or even just get even a bigger stack advantage.
I can seriously tell the last game was close enough for Baxstein so that he just felt a little bit mad about the last game maybe, and now he's just fully concentrated on this. We can definitely see he's been playing Skybake before, and he's now decimating Desertor right now. He even picks up that red 7 frag difference.
And Baxtin with that slow weebo and also with the rockets and the better position was able to just finish off Baxtin in this situation.
Barely good enough triangle even with that movement, and look at Smoke Weebo just confusing both players for a while. Cannot even find him anymore. There he is.
And they just playing around that teleporting, but Baxin eventually was able to just secure the frag and also the red. Now they should be able to just dominate the Dazator there, and here that could be a frag, and here comes the frag, and they will be able to grab the mega as well, even heal up a bit before the mega. And now another rush down, and Dazator goes down. And now Baxin with 10 frag lead. Dazator is going to have to work very hard for that, and they need just one more frag to enter into golden frag, or just 30 seconds. So now Dazator, without anything but 1 yellow armor, doesn't even have the pincer. Now Baxin is just looking, and what a nade! That nade is really gonna help now Dazator, and should be able to pick the mega because of that. So both players are gonna be trading major items and gonna be equal in stack now. So Dazator finally has a pincer, so both players really equal. Finally it comes to golden frag, so Baxin still has 10 frags that he could use as a buffer. Both players know that red is the next major item. So Baxin would eventually drop down, use the slow weebo, and Dazator would actually be able to get away to that situation and even deal some very good damage, maybe even finish off Baxin. Now both players missing off rails, and then very good rail from Dazator, but Baxin survives on 1 HP, and he's very happy about it indeed. Now let's switch to Dazator. Dazator is now going for the red. Would be able to secure the red, while at the same time Baxin would secure the yellow, but that would allow now Dazator to just trap Baxin there. And here a very strong rocket flick from Dazator should be able to deal some more damage, but misses the shot and would continue chasing now.
Very does have a low enough stack.
Baxin with the defense rocket and the defensive pincer manages to destroy Dazator's stack. Dazator will be able to pick up the red after that, but Baxin will be able to pick up the mega. Very nice float LG from Dazator, almost destroying most of the stack that Baxin took from the mega, but Baxin would come out on top in the end. So good game. Now Baxin stealing one of Dazator's map, and we are gonna be going to tiebreaker, and the winner of that map takes it all.
Man, this is really the closest grand final we've ever seen in these series as well. Even if Agent wasn't in the first match, that was like certainly more one-sided than just what we are seeing here currently. Baxstein really completely retaliated on that map compared to the previous map, where he just might have had some kind of frustrating moments, and he just decided to completely concentrate on that last map and decided to take it with a 10 frag difference against Dazator. Now we're on our tiebreaker. Overgrowth. And technically, well, I don't know if it's technically Baxstein's pick, so I guess we'll start from him. sort of the last map that was decided.
This will be a very interesting map because in this map the pincer is very easy to defend. It is very hard to get it. It is in a very strong spot. So if somebody is just playing the right side of the map, they could defend it for a very long time and prevent the opponent. And as we have seen from both of these players, they are amazing at the pincer. And if one player can just have the pincer and the other player wouldn't have it, they will have a massive advantage. So I think that in this map, this is something that is going to be the decisive factor. Who is going to be able to control the pincer more than the other person? So now both players are going to be taking a very small break. I'll also take a very fast refreshment. And I'll be back in just 10 seconds.
No problem. Indeed, Overgrowth was a map we saw Distant Light dominate. I believe it was Desertor. Yeah, so Desertor actually lost against Distant Light in Overgrowth.
So,
but at the same time, like I don't know how well Backstein can actually play with the Void Cannon compared to Distant Light, or in general just play the map when Distant Light just very much controlled Desertor around the map with the Void Cannon at least, and the rest of the weaponry and his stack. We're just waiting until Desertor is ready. Backstein seems to be already moving, and we can start the final game, the very game 5 and the best of 5 of
the
grand final.
tiebreaker.
The very tiebreaker in the grand final. We have actually never seen this in any previous series in eggwp. Oh, I believe that's Al in the Twitch chat already, who's in charge of the production. Shout outs to him as well, taking care of the stream. He says that we should permanently ban Agent. Yeah, just for these Onyx Cups. Well, anyway, starting from Backstein, spawning right next to Yellow, and the Rocket will also go for the Mega. He gets a very good starting stack compared to Desertor, who only has the red for himself. Barely over 200 stack.
Desertor would also get the blue, and also they have the pincer advantage, as we mentioned earlier. Backstein already has the LG, and Desertor still doesn't have it, so Backstein is in a better position to fight. So, and here finally Desertor would also pick up the LG, and now the slow Weeble would deal some great damage onto the red. Very sneaky play from Backstein, and just secures the first frag.
Like 200 damage with the shaft in a row. That was decimation completely. Backstein does pick up the Mega there, doing some shaft damage on Desertor. I believe Desertor really got the yellow there for himself, and the blue will go to Backstein. Very surprising Rocket against Backstein by Desertor there. Will pick up the red. He barely has a more accurate shaft. 3
Desertor
HP.
would survive on just 3 HP. Only 2 LG shots more for Backstein, and it would have been the end of Desertor. And Backstein would finally finds the frag again. So very back and forth starting this match, 2-1. Both players somewhat equal in stack though. Desertor, especially with now the Desertor that they picked the Mega. But however, Backstein was able to get a nice pincer shot to decimate a little bit of the stack. So now Backstein is ahead, and is a little bit late on the yellow, so wasn't able to deal damage there. But now would be able to stand behind the blue, would be able to deny it, and then would be able to secure position for the red. Would use a teleporter for that. Desertor would be ready for that. Would hit some damage, shoot some nades, but Desertor had a clean line of sight towards the red, and was able to just strafe jump to it, and is even able to steal the Mega. So now Desertor is in a very bad spot. So let's switch to Desertor and see how they deal with being out of control.
They pick up the blue. It seems that they have about 145 stack, or is that so? I don't know. Then there is boy, attention on the heavy, so the red pickup there. Backstein is still trying to go for Desertor instead.
Yeah,
grabs one rocket and encourages him to push for the red now.
Backstein is smart enough to know that they could just deny the red. They are in no rush to take it, but at the same time, now they missed out on the Mega. So Desertor was still alive due to the Mega, and was able to deal some additional damage to Backstein because of that. Backstein is still in a very respectable stack, however, especially after they managed to heal up now, and with that pincer shot should be able to finish Desertor now. And Desertor still manages to get some very good damage to get Backstein very low on health.
A super accurate shaft there, but his accuracy in shaft isn't too high either. But 37% only, but 66% of those shafts have been hit. I mean, those pincers have been hit. But Backstein now getting the Mega for himself. I believe it just got the yellow again. And Dazator does deal a little bit of damage on him, but is waiting for the red there. Picks it up, gets some damage, but also damages Backstein for quite a lot. He's 46 HP remaining.
Yeah, misses the 2 rail shots, and because of that, Dazator was able to get a lot more damage in, and is now also dropped to 40% pincer. Good dodging from Dazator. So let's switch to Dazator now, who is now waiting for the Mega. He knows that that Backstein is trapped there, trying to get a rail shot through that window, but misses. And Backstein great rocket shots onto Dazator.
Oh, but the damage on Backstein is already quite magnificent. I don't know if that was thrown by Dazator, that slow field weep. I just barely didn't see that, but that was definitely affecting Backstein quite a lot. But he still gets the
Dazator a little bit late on the yellow. Yeah. Actually goes to chase a little bit, and because of that he's in a bad position and wouldn't be able to pick up the red, but at least we'll have the red timing now. We'll pick up the Mega at the same time, so both players trading major items, and Dazator would also has the yellow, which is somewhat better than the blue, but 25.
I can definitely maybe see why. Yeah, I can definitely maybe see why Dazator is barely trailing with. Is it 3 or 2 frags now?
And
3 frags.
Backstein just juking Dazator around and would go from the through the underground, but Dazator is still looking for that frag, and he finds Backstein once again.
Still tries to go after it.
Getting right before they try to get the Mega, Dazator finds that rail shots and finish up the frag. And now Dazator knows that there are no more items on that side of the map, and they're trying to find Backstein just for another frag. It's dealing some very good damage. Backstein would steal the red though, and Dazator is trying to secure the final frag, and we have a trade. Very unfortunate for Dazator, but Dazator will still get the better spawn next to the yellow, and would even be able to get now the LG. At the same time, Backstein will have the rail, so let's see if they will be able to do something nice with the rail. They'll be looking at the Mega right now, and Dazator hears them and just rushes them with LG instead of going for the Mega and dealing some very nice damage there. Could probably get a frag, but maybe and here comes the frag, and they should be rushing for the Mega now. Backstein spawning next to the blue, trying to get a shot but misses. So now no more items for Backstein, just that blue, and Dazator is in the driving seat. They could be going for frags now. They could be rushing down and getting the red now, and just almost would be on 200, delaying a little bit to create a small desync between the items. And now would deny that yellow, or at least attempt to deny that yellow, and now would be fighting for the Mega.
He's starting to get very close. Now Dazator has the stack advantage, and Backstein just only struggling with a blue armor and 100 health. And even picking up the Mega, Dazator goes after, not the red, but Backstein first, where he's going, and Backstein actually steals that right in front of his eyes. But through the smoke comes the very accurate shaft, even though he cannot even see Backstein.
It was a very smart play from Dazator, but the smoke we will really made it hard for them, because Dazator had no need for that red armor. It was only gonna give them 25 armor, and they instead wanted to get a frag there.
Yeah, he can control the yellow and the Mega pretty well enough, and the Mega is indeed has already spawned. A Backstein will be taking it this time. Yellow's already spawning in 7 seconds, so he's a little bit too early on that. But red is also up. Dazator now finally decides to go for that. It's a trade between the items. Major items, that is. Yellow is also spawned for Backstein. Now they seriously have switched sides in control. Still trying to look for Backstein here. He has 3 ways to go, even underneath the Mega platform there, but Dazator seriously knows that he is there. Waits for the Mega, goes for it. Backstein, yep. Here's Dazator take the Mega platform, runs away and takes the red instead. It's another trade between the sides of the map.
Now
yellow hasn't been taken though.
Now both players know are in a very good stack, and also know the timings of the items, so both players should be preparing for the next red item, because there are no more items, and both players are very well stacked, has the weapons, and now Dazator is already prepared for the red in the high ground, so somewhat better position. would be able to steal the red and now should be rushing for the Mega. Baxin probably trying to catch Dazzledor off guard, and Dazzledor going for the chase, but now Baxin is going to be closer to the Mega. But however, that knockback by Dazzledor just manages to secure the frag on Baxin without letting them get the red.
Yeah, thanks to the shaft pushback, that damage just pushed Baxin right over the Mega there, and yep, it will be Dazzledor's. Red is up.
Dazzledor creating a trap on the red, however
there,
taking
yep.
a direct rocket into the face in the process from Baxin.
Magnificent. And Baxin has indeed taken the lead. It's a very, very close game. It's only a 1 frag difference suddenly. Dazzledor just like did have... Oh, I'll be damned. He was trailing by a couple frags, but suddenly just decided to do a hell of a comeback for a while and tied the frags, and now Baxin's again 1 frag in the lead. Dazzledor.
I'm surprised how they, on the defensive maps, both players were extremely, like the frag difference was huge, while on all the aggressive maps they're extremely close.
So damn close. It's fascinating to see. It's like very, very intense for a grand final game indeed.
And now Baxin will take the Mega, and both players would actually be in super close stock-wise, so this fight is gonna decide a lot. And Dazzledor's shaft just manages to out-damage Baxin by a lot.
And it is 5-5, suddenly Dazzledor has tied it up. You cannot believe it, it's the game 5 of best of 5, and it's tied in frags. And Dazzledor gets the
also
heavy.
In stack currently.
Oh yeah, stack-wise as well, it's just very even.
Both players has all the weapons and everything, so it will be interesting to see what they will be doing, how they will convert this into some sort of an advantage. So a very good start from Dazzledor would get a better position onto the Mega, and because that would be able to secure the Mega and even trade some rail shots, now should be able to secure a position onto the red as well. That Baxin is smart and knows that they're not in a position to contest that red, and at the same time Dazzledor would actually use that to delay the red, to create at least 10 seconds, even more delay between the items. So yeah, now Dazzledor is in a complete control, and they're now in. It's now their time to shine and just completely crush Baxin. Baxin still has some stack, some very good stack that they could have without any of the major items, but 150 stack difference from Dazzledor, and with this rocket, Dazzledor could just decimate Baxin. And now Dazzledor tries to get for some extra damage before taking the red, which also creates a little bit of a delay between the red and the Mega once again. Great rocket once again, cutting off the escape path from Baxin and finishing them off with the LG. Very smart play from Dazzledor, and here they use their stack advantage very well, and now the items are still distinct and they still have the advantage. They will grab the red, and now they're still in control, almost with 200, and they even got the frag out of that. So extremely strong play from Dazzledor right now. However, Baxin with those rockets managing to get some breathing ground.
Just 5 more seconds until golden frag, and Baxin stack-wise is looking slightly worse. Probably the same amount of health, but he needs some armor right here. Dazzledor will pick up. Oh, he didn't pick up the red. Completely missed that red.
Yeah,
but he does go for the Mega there.
They'll still pick up the red because Baxin thought that the red was already picked up. However, that would still be somewhat bad for Dazzledor because that would somewhat sync up the items.
Very much so.
Unfortunate for Dazzledor. Small mistiming on the dash. And now Baxin, let's switch to Baxin actually. Baxin is just hiding and Dazzledor is trying to find them because they know that they could just finish the game now with the huge stack advantage that they have. More than 100 stack advantage. Now Dazzledor denying another red, but Baxin is actually very close on the Mega, but wouldn't commit to the Mega and would let Dazzledor take it, but Dazzledor would delay it a little bit.
Yeah, he's just...
And Dazzledor sneaking by very close to Baxin right now, but Baxin is just around the corner and very strong short for Dazzledor. Dazzledor starts very strong, goes for another rail shot, misses it, but will continue chasing now. And has now stuck Baxin in this situation. Cut one of their escape routes with the slow weevil, and
still camping that same corner again. Yep, just waiting for Dazzledor to be on the Mega platform. It's not spawning just yet. 3 seconds. Well, what shaft fight here behind the pillar. Desator will fall back for the Mega. Quite a number of shaft damage. Pincer will not hit. Backstein will be picking up the red. Don't know how much it will help with that low ass health, but he will be falling back for some more smaller health and the yellow armor. Desator is just falling back on the blue.
So very good for Boxing, being able to survive that pressure and even manages to snatch one of the reds without taking any damage for taking their threat at the same time. So great play for them currently.
3 more seconds at it. It will be Desator's. There he is. Backstein getting a shaft. Oh, sorry, Pincer hit on him, but Desator getting another one on him before picking up the Mega.
Yeah, Boxing still dealing some very good damage despite Desator taking those items. And Desator now with 100 stack advantage. And this could be it. This could be the finish.
No.
The smoke wheel would help out, but it is finished with a rocket shot.
That is it.
And Desator, our winner for this tournament. And very well deserved. Congratulations to the winner, and also congratulations for the extremely good play from Boxing, taking a very well deserved second place. Strong play from both players.
That was probably the best grand final we've had in our series, indeed. And both players were very much even in skill. And it was indeed a very well-deserved second place by Backstein, at least. But congratulations to Desator winning the 7th eggwp duel series here in Diabotical. Man. Yeah, that was it. So next week, we will be having number 8. And the signups will be open in just a few moments right after the stream. So otherwise, thank you so much for the players playing in the tournament. Thank you so much, everybody watching on the stream. Congratulations once again to Desator and for first place, and congratulations to Backstein for the second place. And then Distant Light and Kansas for the top 4. Magnificent games once again. This is what we really want to see in not only the semifinals, but also the grand final. Very even plays. So any last words before we actually finish off Cabal Grow?
I think that those games were more than enough.
Yeah. Thanks for participating in the tourney, and thanks for participating in the stream. I'm Capelli47, joined with Cabal Crow here. We'll be signing off. So it will be bon voyage, best of luck to your future endeavors. See you next week. Goodbye for now.